What is up, and welcome to a very special Halloween edition of Ask DLF. I am Ricky Bobby, your host. Now I'm at Calvin and Hobby, and I'm joined as always by Addison at Amaze Hayes and Tyler at Tyler FF Creator. This is Ask DLF, where the goal of the show is to answer all of your fantasy football questions and to help you dominate your leagues. Because after all, if you ain't first, you're last. That's how we play this Dynasty football. Today's episode brought to you by DynastyLeagueFootball.com. Make sure that you're subscribed to this YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the amazing content from the team here at DLF. Addison has a ton of stuff coming out. Addison, you have a preview for your video tomorrow you'd like to drop on everybody?
It's the title is Running Backs to Buy If You Just Lost Breece Hall.
Ooh, okay. Nice.
I didn't get a chance to watch it yet.
It comes out tomorrow, so nobody's watched it yet.
Yeah,
But you did a video on Breece Hall.
I did a video on Breece Hall, but then,
That's the one I'm saying I didn't get a chance to watch.
Yeah, so that one is out. I
did
broke
one.
down
Well, actually, I did.
what to do with Breece Hall, but now the one tomorrow is if you have Breece Hall and you're contending, buy these running backs to help kind of fill that void for production.
I'm certain there will be plenty of Breece Hall questions. Boy, Tyler, what a terrible thing to happen this weekend, huh? I mean, we were all like, yes, Breece Hall, best running back in the game right now. Fun to watch. Let's go.
Me? You don't have it as bad as me. I tweeted that Breece Hall was like the clear Dynasty RB1 15 minutes before he tore his ACL. And then that tweet blew up.
So it was your fault.
It's your fault.
Do you know how many mentions I've gotten that like, you're such an idiot. Why would you take a guy with a torn ACL? I'm like, timestamp. Read the fucking timestamp.
13, Tyler. PG-13. I think you get one of them, right?
We get one. That's our one. There we go.
Right.
So much to talk about.
I set a new record on my own show. It was bad.
For what? F-bombs? Oh. Well, right here at DLF, we are PG-13, so we have one. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because Addison works hard, Tyler works hard. We have a lot of great content, a lot of things going on the channel. Make sure that you hit those notifications so you know every time we have a video, and make sure you hit the like button because every like that you get, Addison runs a mile. We've already discussed that.
How is Addison would be dead then?
I would be dead.
He's going to be in really good shape. I'm going to start joining you on that.
Hey,
so if you have a question,
I'm in good shape.
Not run 25 miles every week. Well, I guess if you space it out, that's only
25 miles a week is nothing, Addison.
I guess so.
I probably do go 25 miles a week. I don't run them.
I'm going to make a lot of Talladega Nights jokes here, but I want to go fast. So we're going to jump right in to all the questions. Here's RPO Sports Car. What's up, guys? Crazy week in Dynasty. Are you looking to sell off Breece Hall after the injury? If so, what's the value roughly you should be trying to get him for? Addison did a great video on this, but would you like to take that one first, Addison, since you just did it?
Basically the same as what you would have gotten for him if he was still healthy. That's kind of what I want. He's still a top 5 Dynasty running back. So
yeah. Did you do your video before or after James Robinson was traded to the Jets?
Before.
Okay. So I'll put this link in the chat and people can take a look. I did a video. It started at 1:45 a.m. last night.
Yes, yeah.
There's the link about the James Robinson trade. I touched on Breece Hall a little bit more there. I did it on my show yesterday as well. I still have him at running back 2.
Yeah.
JT at 1.
I like look, I'm no doctor. I like it seemed like it was a clean ACL, and not like a bunch of other ligament damage like we heard on Javonte Williams, for instance. So from that sense, it was positive. I mean, I hate to see it, but if you're gonna tear your ACL, that's the way to do it without the meniscus extra and all that. So I guess that's good news if you're trying to find a silver lining and maybe have a distinction between that and Javonte, but it's tough. You're gonna be just praying and hoping that he comes back and everything goes well in his recovery. And a lot of that outside of our control, unfortunately.
Yep.
Tyler, if somebody says like, "Hey, I am 4-3 right now. I've got Brees Hall. What do I do with him?"
Well, I mean, you can trade him to get something to help you, but only if it's going to be a good offer. Not going to trade it if it's a bad offer.
Right. I feel like if you're 4-3 and you were the Brees Hall injury away from not being a contender, you probably weren't a contender anyway, right? You know, I'm looking at more of the teams that were like, you know, if you're undefeated at this point, 6-1, 5-2, and you had Brees Hall and you're still trying to figure some stuff out at the running back position, those would be the teams that I'd be more willing to trade Brees Hall away for something, as long as the value makes sense. Like, I'm not trading Brees Hall away for, you know, like Dalvin Cook in a second. Like,
I was literally about to say Dalvin Cook.
No. We're not doing that. But like, you know, if the value makes sense and you can still, you know, maybe you can get like Travis Etienne and Chris Olave or something like that. That might make more sense to be able to do something in that kind of range. Just, yeah.
Yeah. Tyler, have you seen any trades go down for Brees Hall?
No.
Anybody in your Patreon, for instance, come to you with anything?
My Patreon, there's a significant number of Brees Hall shares. Everyone who has talked to me about in the situation Addison described about being, which there has been a lot of that in good team. Brees Hall was a lot of why. A lot of those teams were like, well, I didn't think I would be good, but now I'm 5-2. And they just lost Brees Hall. I've mostly told them to hold on, but you know, explore possibilities.
I just pulled up the trade finder, so there is one from today.
But no trades done, if that's what you were asking.
There's two from today in the trade finder. One of them is Brees Hall for a 2023 first round pick.
Hall.
So I pulled that up too, and I'm looking at where that first is. The team who gave away
How can
the
you
first.
see that?
You click on the
You can go into the league.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know you could.
The team, sorry, the first round pick is from the team who is currently 5-2.
Oh,
So,
wow. I'd steal then.
A late first round pick. This is the Dynasty Trades HQ Listener League, by the way.
Oh.
So
does that make you think, if you're a team that has a late first or projected to, is this what you would use your first for?
I would do that. Yeah. Yep.
If it was between this or a piece that could help you win this year, which would you rather?
I'll help you this year. Like, is it like Saquon Barkley help you this year, or like Dameon Pierce help you this year?
So that would be the question, right?
Saquon Barkley would be nice. Saquon Barkley, I think if you're a contender, I could live with it.
What if it's Josh Jacobs and you're projected to be the 14th pick in a 14-team league?
Nah.
I think I might do that. If it's like the very end of the first.
His playoff schedule, I know we're still a ways out where that can change a lot, but his playoff schedule is kind of rough for rushing.
There are some other trades in here, but none of them look to me like they are great returns for Brees Hall. Don't do stuff like this, like Brees Hall for Paris Campbell and Jamison Williams.
No, not that one. I heard someone talking about that on Twitter.
That's a panic move right there.
Brees Hall and Bailey Zappi for Dameon Pierce, 23 second.
Oh, Bailey Zappi. That's going to be a discussion.
No doubt. All right. Hopefully that helps. And I'm sure there'll be more Brees Hall conversation mixed in here during the show. But I know that's an important thing a lot of people are dealing with there. Russell's Corpse. Interesting name. 12-team super flex tight end premium. Too many injuries to overcome this year. Should trade Gabe Davis and Dameon Pierce to contend or to a contender and get Brees and prep for next year.
Love it.
Love it.
I would do that.
You love it.
That's amazing. Henry's a legend. If you do things that legends do, you can become a legend too. He says to like the video. So make sure you smash that like button.
I mean, if Henry says it.
That's right. A lot of Dynasty experts said to take one of London, Wilson, or Burks ahead of Walker. I had the 102 in 2 rookie drafts. I took Walker once, took London once, kicked myself now on the London pick. Interesting. In retrospect, should we have gone Walker over London?
I mean, yes. In retrospect, yes. Hindsight is 20/20.
Well, me and you
I
on the
feel-
show said Walker too. I mean, like,
Yeah,
we
I
said
said
it over and
Walker
over.
at the beginning. I said Walker at the beginning during early rookie draft season. Then,
Mhm.
as things progressed throughout the summer and Walker wasn't looking so great, I went to Garrett Wilson. And then, as Garrett Wilson wasn't looking so great, I went to London. But yeah, no, I had Walker as the 102 during, anyone who took advice from me during April and May at 102 took Walker. Burks is the one I was never in on. Never,
I think you
ever.
always had it London, didn't you, Addison?
Addison had London, I think.
Well, London was always my wide receiver 1, but I'm trying to find this tweet because somebody literally liked it Sunday.
Oh
Well,
no.
the thing is, no,
No, it was a good tweet. It was okay.
I think early in the rookie process, when I was like just getting started, I had Burks at wide receiver 1, but that was, I think I made the switch way before Burks went down to 3, way before the draft happened.
I found it.
Yeah, I think I made that switch in March.
Oh no, that wasn't it. One of these is
To
in
me,
here.
I don't really care about what my rookie, like, I just think I do my best pre-draft, but that isn't really, I'm fighting an uphill battle there. I'm fighting an uphill battle against people who are Devi analysts and look at this the whole time. I mean, every day that passes is one more day I have to catch them. And by May, I don't think they're better. I think there's no difference between them and me. But in February or March, I have a lot of catching up to do.
On May 10th, I tweeted out, I don't understand why Kenneth Walker is not the consensus 1.02. May 10th.
Addison is a smart cookie.
Receipts.
Oh, don't even.
Well, but I also
They must really hate me because I self-submitted one and they didn't even publish it.
The thing that's really difficult for me is, like, I think sometimes we pick these arbitrary like endpoints and we're just like, oh, see, it should have been Walker. But like 2 weeks ago, that wasn't what anybody was saying.
I guarantee you could go through my old tweets and find me over from March to August saying all 4 of these players at 102. I guarantee you could find it.
But 5 weeks from now, in other words, like, I don't think even 5 weeks, like, in other words, right now, we don't know that it should have been Walker. Like, he's kicking himself. 5 weeks from now, it could be like, oh, I'm so glad I took London and I hate that Walker.
I got to be honest with you, Cal. I don't think that's going to happen because getting a young running back, there are so few running backs that are valuable that I don't think that's going to happen. If anything, I think the value gap between the players is going to increase, not decrease. So
Walker's being talked about as a top 5 dynasty running back.
Yeah,
right
I think I might have Walker.
London is not. London
is dropping and Walker is rising.
Yeah.
I might have, like I said, I might have Walker too low. I mean, it's hard, but I feel like, I don't know, maybe I should have Walker closer to Swift than I do. I don't know why I have him lower. He's done more this year and he's younger. To be honest with you, it's something I look at my ranks and I'm like, why? Why do I have it ranked that way? And that's very important. That's very important. That's actually how you should rank, by the way. It's forgetting all the other ways people rank. That's actually, people overcomplicate it. The way to rank is very simple. You look at the format that your ranks are based on, and then you think about it. You're in a startup draft. Would you really do it? Would you really follow these ranks? If the answer is no, then you have to change it or reevaluate how you got there. That's what I do anyway.
Steve C is rebuilding in a 10-team half PPR super flex league. Keep Barkley and Swift, or should Steve cash out?
The 2 separate questions.
Yeah,
Barkley is basically a must sell if you're in a rebuild. He's never going to be worth more. He's 25, which is, usually running backs can increase up until 25. And once they hit 26, they never increase anymore.
Yep.
So Barkley is basically a must move. If you have Barkley in a rebuild, you have to move him. And you should get a lot. At this point, I think you should get Brees Plus. I would think. If the Brees owner is contending, I think you can get Brees Plus, and I would do it. I would take the 4 years. If you have Swift, I feel like Swift is kind of unpopular because he hasn't been playing. You might want to hang on and wait for him to come back.
Yep. But yeah, I agree. That was like exactly what I was going to say for both of those. So
that would be what I would say here.
So if you have Barkley in this situation, 10-team league, like, are you mentioned a couple things there. You mentioned Brees, but are you
Steve had a great idea. I mean, going for Brees, that's probably the first thing I would try. So he's already on the right track. And then if that doesn't work out, there's no other running back I really would pivot to. It would be pivoting off for picks or
be wide receiver position. Or picks.
That's what I was going to ask. Is would you pivot over to wide receiver instead and try to go for a Jalen Waddle?
If I could get Kenneth Walker plus, I would, but you can't. I don't think.
I like pivoting to wide receiver. If you can't get Brees, because I feel like at that point, I really just don't want any other running back.
Can you get like Michael Pittman plus unpopular?
That was literally
right
the first
now
name I thought of. It was or Amon-Ra. You might be able to get Amon-Ra with him being back and then got concussion, and then it's piling.
Actually, he didn't get a concussion. He actually wasn't a concussion.
Whatever it was he left with, but I feel like you can get that. Maybe you can get Higgins. Maybe you can get Waddle because Waddle hasn't been doing well because no Tua up until this week. But I feel like there's a lot of wide receivers that you might potentially be able to get one of those wide receivers plus something. Like, you might be able to get Waddle in a second. If it's a contender, you might be able to pull it.
I love how you said Waddle hasn't been doing well.
Well, the last few weeks, he had Skylar Thompson.
Yeah, he's been so bad this year. His current stats would pace him over 17 games for 83 receptions for 1,508 yards. It's been so bad.
Because
it's
of
so
one
bad.
game.
I like the Michael
No, that's false, actually. He has 3 games of over 100 yards.
I like the pivot over to Michael Pittman because when Sam Ehlinger is not going to get him the ball very well. So you're not adding those points to your team.
Can't be worse than Matt Ryan.
I kind of like that idea.
I mean, Matt Ryan.
Yes.
That's going to be difficult because over the last couple of weeks, you could see that Matt Ryan was washed up.
Speaking as a Steelers fan, I can say that it can get worse than Matt Ryan.
Yeah, we said the same thing about Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh no, Matt Ryan was even worse than Ben Roethlisberger. Matt Ryan. I think Matt Ryan has started his last NFL game. I think Matt Ryan's done. I think he retires after this year. I think he's finished.
CDTLB says, fellas, I know I'm breaking rules, asking Tyler's advice after trading, but rebuilding and sold CMC for Brees and a mid 23 second today gives me a chance at 101 to get Bijan next year too. What are your thoughts?
I love it.
I love it. This is my hope. The ballers say this all the time too, is that as analysts, one of our main goals when we're projecting advice and stuff is to be able to empower you guys to make your own moves and know what, is kind of going on in your leagues and your situations.
How do you say that?
And so, if you see a trade like this and it comes across and you're like, I don't even need to ask. I already know. I'm just taking the deal.
Yeah.
Just take the deal.
It's funny you say that. That's somewhat my goal. Less so, I think, than other analysts. I definitely still pride myself on building continuous relationships, especially with patrons. To continue to work them through stuff. I'm definitely lower than most on the explaining how to be me as a fantasy manager. I do that. I think one of the least of the fantasy analysts out there. I'll do it, but it's not my area of expertise. I do struggle and I've always struggled with this, even on the show and Twitter. I've struggled to put a lot of my process into words. I try my best. I'm best with my voice. On Twitter and articles, I really struggle. But I do, just trust me in that I am thinking about it. I have my spreadsheets. Addison's seen how much of a disaster they are. They're very messy, but they do exist. But yeah, every day I'm just working harder to get better for you guys.
To make y'all better Dynasty players.
Yeah.
Because then whenever you're able to make this trade and say, I don't even need Tyler's advice because I already know. I'm just going to grab this one. And then you share it because then it's fun to share. And then you're like,
and that's what my longtime patrons, after a while tend to figure it out. And that's why I have my Discord. It kind of rubs off on
Mhm.
everyone else, and then they can kind of help me out when I'm not around. And I will say that I might have a project coming up soon that's going to help people get a lot more advice from a lot more sources, and is going to make your experience with my Twitter account possibly a lot more fun. So just take a look out for that in the next week. Just
Interesting. Good teaser.
yes.
TJ Keen 96, 10 team, 3 super flex, traded a late second and a third for Kareem Hunt.
Fine with that if you need him. If you need him, that's a good move.
Yeah. Do you think Hunt gets traded?
I do. With
I'm
them
just
at
kinda
2 and
wondering.
5, I lean that way.
I'm kind of wondering where I want him.
Well, I thought he could go to the
Ooh.
Jets, but that spot's taken.
Well, yeah.
I think it's the Rams. I feel like it has to be.
Rams would be fun. Although I've been trying to save that for Antonio Gibson because I really want Antonio Gibson.
Tony
to get
Gibson's
traded
not
there.
getting traded.
I know he's not
Mm.
getting traded, but like there's a part of me that's just like that's reserved for Antonio Gibson because I think it would be
Yeah.
fun.
Kareem Hunt, I feel like is likely to be moved because he's in his walk year.
Yeah. I think the Bills would be interesting too.
Yeah, maybe.
Ravens?
No, I don't think they're going to do that.
Maybe. I mean,
Also,
I'm
Cleveland's probably not going to be nice.
trading
trade
in
him to
division.
Baltimore.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay. Eric, not naming any shows, but there's a certain trade show advocating for people to jump ship off Brees for any mid 23 first or a running back like Singletary and a 24 first. Do you guys concur?
No. And I am unaware of what show he's referencing, but that's not what I've heard on the content I've been listening to this week. So, and I do listen to a significant amount of content.
I think you should name the show.
So, not a show I listen to.
I think Eric should name the show.
I think Eric should name the show, but I have a feeling,
I have a feeling I know who
given
it
what
is.
I know, I have a feeling I know what show this is. Just feeling.
TJ Keen. Also, any other good, cheaper running back ideas for contenders? I'm 7-0, but Ramondre and AK are my only active running backs left after losing 4 to the IR. Maybe around a second round value. Interesting question. What do you think?
Watch my video tomorrow.
Oh, come on. That's not an answer.
Sorry,
That's no-
that's
that's
literally what
no
my video
good.
was. Like that's
No,
literally
no,
what
no.
the video is.
I can't accept that.
No, go, Tyler. Go ahead. I will
Miles
agree or disagree
Sanders.
with you. Okay.
David Montgomery.
Oh, I'm actually surprised to hear you say Montgomery
Me too.
Why?
because you.
It said
you-
cheap. It said cheap.
I mean, I agree with that.
I
but
would have
just
said
feel like
Josh Jacobs,
Monty
but
was-
Josh Jacobs is expensive.
I
Wow.
actually looked at Josh Jacobs' trades today. They're not horrible. Like they're very
Yeah.
palpable for somebody who has done what he's done for the last 3 weeks.
Maybe.
Would you buy? Okay, here's from the Trade Finder: a 23 second and a 23 fifth for Dante Foreman and Isaiah Pacheco.
No.
No,
Take the
the
pick.
second's worth more itself.
2 seconds for Khalil Herbert and a 23 third.
2 seconds?
For Khalil Herbert in a third, so picks for me.
Nah, yeah,
Herbert
not-
for a second's about is
not
maybe
2
fair,
seconds.
but not with added.
This is all from today. 23 second for Devin Singletary.
Okay, I don't hate that. I'd rather have Singletary over Herbert, and it was less than the previous trade.
Right, especially if you're 210, 211, 212.
I think that no matter how many times the Bears say there's a this beat reporter, that beat reporter, it's like, whoa, Khalil Herbert will get more involved. No, he won't. He won't. He scored twice last night?
Once, I think.
Oh no, Montgomery
Yeah,
ran in
one
that
time.
other touchdown, didn't he?
Montgomery had a
I-
rushing and Khalil had a
Khalil
receiving.
Herbert had that
receiving, yeah.
really nice receiving touchdown.
Khalil Herbert is good. It's just that the Bears
Yeah,
think that David Montgomery.
I mean, it was a
is
split
better.
backfield, but a lot of Herbert's carries came in the garbage at the end. When the game was close, Montgomery was the clear lead.
Right. That's always how it's been for the entire year. Because we saw even when like the first game Montgomery's back, he is the guy. You know.
Oh yeah,
Like,
no,
he-
he's
he-
always the guy. But I do think you're gonna have a sell window on Khalil Herbert when Montgomery signs elsewhere because I don't think the Bears want him back.
Probably.
But then they'll pick someone else. Khalil Herbert's not a starting running back in the NFL. Reminds me a little bit of Tony Pollard. Not play style, but in that like he's good on limited touches, but really should not be a workhorse back for an extended period.
Okay. Benjamin Paul, 12 team Superflex. Give Juju, get a late 23 second and a late 23 third.
That's just, I mean, what are you going to get in
Juju.
the late second? I mean, I'll take Juju.
He was on
Reluctantly.
he was on my short list of wide receivers to buy on the cheap as well. For this exact kind
He's
of
not
trade.
really on my list.
I said short list, and
Yeah,
I don't know. He might
would
not
be-
actually make the
I
video.
could make a very long list, and he would not make it.
Hey man, if he keeps doing what he did Sunday, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I
Two good
hope
weeks
that
in a
the
row.
bye week is an
2
opportunity.
weeks in a row.
I hope the bye week is an opportunity to get more talented players involved.
But he's gotten 8 targets in like 5 of 7 games or something, I think I saw. So it's
I understand.
they're good.
I'm hoping the
quality
bye week
players.
is the week that Andy Reid's like, wow, Juju's just so much better than Marquez Valdez-Scantling and Mecole Hardman and Sky Moore.
Sky Moore,
We need to give him 10 targets.
I like Sky Moore though.
I do too. It's sad.
Thomas Benson, 12 team, full PPR, rebuilding. I want to trade Christian Kirk for Marquise Brown. IR contend now team. Should I make this effort?
I would take Brown. He's about a year younger than Kirk, and I feel like Brown's floor is Kirk's ceiling.
They cross
just-
a little bit.
I don't think. Do you think Kirk is the Jaguars wide receiver 1 in 2023? Because I would say no. I just don't think he's done enough. You can tell the offense is missing that. That Jaguars offense it has a good running back now. It has a good running back. It has a good 2 and 3 receiver and a decent tight end. Doesn't have a 1. Christian Kirk is not a 1. Christian Kirk is like a 1B, I would say, in the best case scenario, but he's not a 1. That offense is lackluster because Christian Kirk is not good enough.
Yeah, I agree with that.
This
I think
team
if they bring in
needs a
somebody,
1.
it'll be a rookie. They're not going to go out and get
But there are a
but-
significant number of rookies who would come in day 1 would be better than Christian
for
Kirk.
sure. Like he could be
So-
like Elijah Moore to Garrett Wilson. That's
And that's, yes, less talented Elijah Moore, I would say.
Yes.
Elijah Moore, I'd say, is more talented than Christian Kirk.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. But I could see that kind of
so-
situation playing out.
But I think it's a shame we didn't get to see Hollywood Brown and DeAndre Hopkins share the field. DeAndre Hopkins, by the way, came in and looked good. Looked really good. Yeah, right? I
He did.
mean, he
Mhm.
looked really good. He looked elite again.
Yeah.
I have DeAndre Hopkins this week and start sit at wide receiver 9. I have him as wide receiver 1 this
I
week.
love it.
Oh, I don't think you have a choice. The game is against Minnesota. There are a lot of wide receiver issues this week, a lot of problems. I think he has to be a 1. He's a wide receiver 1, I think, until Hollywood comes back.
I love it.
Yeah. You want to talk about a wide receiver I'd buy on cheap.
Would you do Kirk in a second for probably not your rebuilding second?
I think
That's
not.
probably
no.
a little too
I think
much.
not. I think those players are too close.
It might need to be some sort of like another positional swap. I was just trying to give you a
Hollywood,
little bit of
it's also a
framework of-
shame because Hollywood, I feel like, was ascending up the ranks right when that injury happened. I feel like he was starting to get respect. And then that injury occurred and kind of put him right back to where I feel like I just put him right back to in my rankings where he was before the year started.
right back to 4:23 seconds.
Get out of here.
It's a shame, though. I think you see, though, what the offense could be with DeAndre Hopkins and Hollywood Brown on the field if that occurs.
Yeah, see,
What
I would
about-
do this.
Christian Kirk plus Josh Reynolds for Marquise Brown plus Jalen Tolbert.
So Christian Kirk plus nothing for Marquise Brown plus nothing.
Exactly. This is
So Marquise Brown then.
I'll take Hollywood. I want to
Yeah.
do this. This is what
This
I
tells me to go buy Hollywood Brown. Drop them likes, people, says Thomas. Do Thomas things. Grant G, 12 team Superflex. Guy wants Ayuk from me and offered David Bell, 24 second, 25 second. Kind of seems right, he says. He also has a 23 second. And Tony, he might trade. Is this a 3 seconds player? Thanks.
Oh man, I think I'd hold Ayuk over this Bell offer, although it
Yes.
really isn't bad.
I wish it was 23 and
Njoku-
24.
The David
Me
Njoku
too.
injury could give David Bell more of an opportunity. I said that on my show yesterday. Yeah, but it seems a little light.
Yeah. I think I would probably trade Ayuk for Tony in a second. If the second
But
was
Tony
late.
subtracts value from your team. That's the issue.
That's more for the second. And then
Yeah, but
hoping that
Tony
Tony gets a
for-
change of scenery.
You do Ayuk basically for a second and a lotto ticket.
if you just change that 25 second to the 23, I would take it.
Yeah, I would do that too.
Even
You
without
don't
Bell.
even need David Bell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Addison and I have so much in common.
We got this.
Frank, and are there any players you would be trading for or even picking up off waivers leading up to the trade deadline? Hamler, Judy, Claypool, etc.
Broncos country, let's ride.
Are you trading for Russell Wilson?
No.
That would be that because that would have come like the David Montgomery one already kind of threw me off that you said that. But then if you said that you were going to trade for Russell Wilson, that would have just I would have probably left the show. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, we talked about Russell Wilson. If the Broncos want to cut him after 2025, they'll still owe him $31 million in dead cap. Isn't that exciting? After 3.5 more years, they'll still owe him $31 million. That's if you're a Broncos fan and you just heard that, how do you feel?
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. And by the way, the Seahawks will be picking with the Broncos selection in the first round next year. I don't want any of these players. To Judy, I guess. All we need is Brett Rippon every week, and then Judy will be the wide receiver one there.
I think DJ Moore would be a good name to throw out there.
DJ Moore's not getting traded though. He's asking about the trade deadline specifically. DJ Moore is not being traded.
No, I think he means in fantasy.
Oh, see, I assume what Tyler was saying. I assume
given the names in his question and that these are 3 players that have had specific NFL trade rumors about them, I don't think that's what he's asking.
Oh, I get like you're trying to acquire players who could be traded in the NFL.
I think that's what he's saying. Yeah.
When their value goes up from that. Okay. That makes it. Tony would be my player then.
Tony's not getting traded. Nobody wants him.
I listen, dude.
How about Aaron Rodgers?
No. Aaron Rodgers is going to retire.
I want to go Aaron Rodgers to the Falcons. That's what can we start that? Can we make that happen?
Well, it's not going to happen, but I mean, Kadarius Toney,
Hall of Fame quarterbacks in the past.
I would be here for that, for the storyline that Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady are both in the same division and they both lost to Jameis Winston.
Or Andy Dalton.
Yep.
All right. 12-team Superflex going into a rebuild. Trade Tyreek Hill and Joe Mixon for Lamb and Godwin.
Lamb and Godwin.
Yep.
Love it.
John Garrett's 12-team 1 QB, too late, 23 first. Is that too much to give up for Ken Walker?
It's not. I don't think it's enough.
2 first?
I think he's worth 2 late first and a 1 QB.
In a 1 QB.
I think Walker's worth more.
Yep.
Man,
which tells me that Walker's too low in my ranks. Then, if that's really how I feel, that tells me he's too low. That means he should be at least 4 spots higher. Not among running backs, but 4 overall spots.
I don't think you're all that far off. I will say that.
No, but he's too low. He's too low in my ranks if that's really how I feel.
Hector 12-team Superflex PPR start 10 traded Justin Fields and a 23 third for Hall and Jeff Wilson. Realistically competing in 24, so Brees has time to heal. Is that too risky? Loves the show. Thank you, Hector.
Take Hall. I'll take Hall.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Very good. Lufty 08 10 team 1 QB start 9. Give Hopkins and get AJ Dillon. I'm competing this year, but have lots of old wide receivers and also have Aaron Jones. Is it worth it for the future?
AJ Dillon looks like a total bust.
Man.
I mean, he looks so bad.
Can you do this with Amari instead?
Do what with Amari?
Trade Amari for Dillon. Keep Hopkins.
I'd rather have Amari.
My guess is no, because like Hopkins has the buzz right now. That's probably why this is probably an offer to Lufty, if I had to guess.
I think Amari's worth more than Hopkins. 2 years younger, and he's been producing without Watson for the whole season, not just one game.
I'm keeping Hopkins.
I guess so. I don't want Dylan at all.
This is
Yeah,
so
that's the
sad
thing
this
is I don't
where
like the
we're at.
return. I don't mind selling him, but I don't like the return.
Can you get Dylan in a second?
No, I don't think so.
People on Twitter were telling me that DeAndre Hopkins is worth a first.
He's not.
Get out
So
of here.
that it was a 24 first, but that's what people were telling me.
All right. Yeah, let's pull that up. Go ahead, Tyler.
12 team, 1 QB, half PPR. Traded Najee and Josh Reynolds and 23 second for Waddle. I have Waddle, AJ Brown, Lamb, Adams, Mixon, Barkley, and James Robinson. Who should I target for James Robinson? And did I overpay for Waddle? I don't think he overpaid for Waddle.
I'm
and
surprised you
actually
got that trade
underpaid.
done.
Me too.
And who should I target for James Robinson? I think it's hard to. Yeah, I mean that's something you could do. I mean, who would you rather have rest of the season, James Robinson or Michael Carter?
Carter.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, I don't agree.
Oh.
I don't agree at all.
I don't think J-Rob is it.
I think James Robinson is a better player than Michael Carter.
We know he's a good running back. Yeah, like that. We know that. He's proven
I think
that.
the Jaguars, to be honest, I think the Jaguars are just like, we don't need him. We can get something for him.
He was dealing with knee issues this weekend. That's why he didn't
restricted
play.
free agency. Like someone's gonna send him a contract offer. We're gonna have to match. We're not gonna keep him. We might as well get something.
Thank you for that super chat. Hopefully that,
Yes, thank you, sir.
helps. Dustin Oz, evening, gents. I appreciate you taking time out of your Tuesdays to answer my question every week. My
I'm sorry about
trade,
this
that's what we're
one.
here for. My trade for Njoku last week was looking pretty brilliant on Sunday for 3 quarters. Gosh.
That's the game, man.
Yeah,
Harrison
it's
Bryant, though. Harrison Bryant, I will say, I ranked him at tight end 19 this week, so I want to see him do something before I rank him too high, but Harrison Bryant and David Bell will be the ones to have an opportunity to step up. I think we know Donovan Peoples-Jones is not it.
I think he's not it with Brissett. For sure.
No, Donovan Peoples-Jones is not it, period.
I mean, I will agree with that.
I've seen enough of Donovan Peoples-Jones to say that he sucks.
I agree. But if
Donovan
there was any quarterback
Peoples-Jones
that would be
is
less
just
of
a
a fit.
wind sprint expert. All he does is he goes, "Woo," can't catch, can't receive, can't do anything, can't run routes, nothing. He sucks at everything. All he does is run.
Them
He's
Michigan wide
incapable of
receivers.
playing the wide receiver position in the NFL. And I think we've seen that over 2 years. And now a third year. I don't need to see more. He sucks. So someone else is going to step up.
I like Harrison Bryant. I hope he does
So
well.
do I. I think he's talented. And remember that Kevin Stefanski in 2020 played Harrison Bryant over David Njoku.
Yes.
David Njoku was cut from Dynasty rosters back then. A lot of
Yeah.
people might not remember that.
My hope is that he's the Gerald Everett to like Njoku's.
Harrison Bryant was like a popular tight end
Yes,
coming
he
into
was.
the league.
Yes, he was.
He got less draft capital than people expected.
Did we lose Cal?
I don't know.
Cal. Oh,
I mean, Harrison Bryant. Oh yeah, we lost Cal, but Harrison Bryant won the Mackey Award.
was he? I think he was a 3rd round pick.
4th.
4th? Is that He was sneaky. He was one of those he was one of the favorite late round guys for everybody back then.
Oh, we really lost Cal.
Wow, we really like Cal.
All right.
All right. Here, I think I'm where we're at.
Okay.
Jonathan, trade Trey Lance for Jameson Williams in a 3rd in Superflex.
Easy on Trey Lance for sure. Take Trey Lance.
Yeah. Yep. Lefty, late night grocery store run. Catch you on the replay. Dang, grocery store this late?
Remember that I started a live stream at 1:45 Addison a.m.
See, that's fine. You're at your house, but Dude, I will say, probably grocery store probably like this late.
Were you there?
where
Oh,
we're
well, you weren't there because it was my show. But there was a week I did my show from a suspicious remote location. There were vehicles in the background. It was very interesting.
What are you
I
doing?
was in a remote location. There was a highway. I was on my phone. It was very, very bizarre.
Sheesh dropped Dolces for Pacheco. Crying
Sorry,
emoji.
it's not going to look good.
Oh no. People were all over Pacheco. Hey, Cal,
Okay.
you're back.
Well, he was the starter, weren't we told?
Starter. But for some reason, nobody liked the starter when it was Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So why did we care when it was Pacheco?
We didn't. I just switched them in my
mystery
rankings.
box.
You got like what, like 5 touches?
Something like that.
Rob down Sunday morning pregame trade and Njoku in a 23 mid second for a 23 mid to late first. That worked out well for you, Rob.
Oh,
I love that.
oh.
Hindsight's
Yep.
2020.
I mean, we would like this no matter what, right?
Oh,
Yes, I
absolutely.
would have liked it before, even if Njoku
Absolutely,
went
but
for-
it's really good now.
Right. Giddy up, hello friends. Give a mid to late 23 first for Pickens and Isaiah Spiller. 10
No.
team Superflex start 10.
Mm,
I'll take the first.
Me too.
Mhm.
how late?
That's what he said, mid to late. So what if it's 107, 108?
Yeah, if it's very close. By the way,
Nick Bell, give Ramondre and a 24 third. Get Akers and a 24 first.
format. I mean, if this is like 1 QB, I would take Ramondre's worth more. It's super flex. It's hard.
I want the
The
20.
risk is high.
Give me the first.
I do like though. Damian Harris came back, but Ramondre Stevenson was still the workhorse. Didn't matter.
Mm-hmm. I like
So
the first is probably the best thing in this trade.
more than likely will end up being, yeah.
First.
Sell AJ Brown for mid first plus Mixon.
I mean,
The value's right. I
the
just don't know if
value's
that's
right.
That's
but,
the way to go.
like, I think if this ends up being like the 108, I think you're actually, and then after the season going to the offseason, I think you're actually
Right,
going to
you're not
rather
gonna-
have had AJ Brown.
Yeah, for sure. You're not going to want Mixon.
As Mixon value is going to continue to decline.
Yep.
She says no.
I've learned my lesson with running backs. It's better to be a year too early than a year too late. I think I'm adjusting my selling cliff to even earlier.
Thomas Benson also on my rebuilding team. I have Metcalf. Should I keep him or move him for someone younger? This is the first rebuild year. I'm thinking 2 years to be competitive.
What younger are you going to get?
I think it's hard to do that now with his injury again, too.
Right.
He thinks he's going to play this week. I think otherwise.
I mean, DK's not even 25, right?
I think he fits. I think he fits your rebuild for sure. Especially
Yeah.
because, like, I think worst case scenario, he maintains his value going into this year. But should Seattle do something cool with that Denver Broncos first, and maybe if they draft a quarterback, all of a sudden we're back in on DK Metcalf like what we were with Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
I think Metcalf's ability to produce so far this year with Geno Smith, and yes, Geno Smith is like playing out of his mind. But that's still like out of his mind. Geno is still like average quarterback in the league, maybe a little above average. Where that if we get like a quarterback with a pedigree in there, that's what's going to be talked about. We're going to want that. So I think Metcalf's value could rise, and that could be the situation where you could flip him.
I am with you. Cuddy forever. What's the 101 of Halloween candy?
I have like 3 unpopular opinions. Crunch bars, Snickers bars, and Nerds.
Ooh, okay, I like it.
Everybody's gonna say Reese's or whatever, but it's like if you give me like a box of nerds, especially the duo one where it's like you get red on one side and like green on the other. Oh,
Mhm.
oh,
I'm not very picky when it comes to any kind of Halloween candy, to be honest with you. Like
anything but Milky Way or Twix. I don't do Milky Way or Twix. Anything but that.
I don't mind the Twix, I guess. I guess you
Or
just don't-
Mallow cups.
What's
Mallow
the
cups are
worst
nice.
Halloween candy?
Popcorn balls.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Or
Definitely not.
licorice.
Oh no, I like licorice.
Oh.
I'm one of those weirdos. I like candy
No.
corn too.
Oh.
I know.
No.
I know. Roast me. Rob Down's second pregame trade contender got Jacobs in a 23 third for a late 23 first and Spiller.
Wow.
Okay.
Did you get to play Jacobs this week? Because that would have been sweet.
That would have made it a lot better, no doubt.
Oh man. Nice.
Dude, he looks good. And he's still young. I mean, this is the only question is his contract, right?
Yeah, he doesn't they didn't pick up his 5th-year option, so he's a free agent at the end of the year. So it's a situation of, do the Raiders pay him after they already have massive investments in Carr, Adams, and Waller?
Mm-hmm.
Or does he test the market, see what happens? And maybe he gets like 10, 11, 12 mil. But that might be, what if he gets Melvin Gordon,
Mhm.
where he's still like solid, but maybe the team that he goes to drafts a rookie or already has somebody in there,
Or maybe he takes a deal that he thinks prolongs his career and wants to go with someone else that helps share the load. I mean, he make that kind of decision, right?
Yeah. It's that's the only iffy part about Jacobs right now. Because I even said, like, I tweeted out, like, during the game, I said, if we knew, like, if Josh Jacobs signed a 3-year deal to stay in Vegas right now, he'd be a Dynasty RB1.
Absolutely. Yep.
But that's the only thing holding him back from that kind of value right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think he still maintains, like, I think if you're a contender and you're paying a late first for Jacobs, I don't think you regret that at the end of the year.
Me neither.
If you don't win, but it's just one of those moves that you're just kind of betting on it happening. And if it does happen, then great. That might be the best price that you get Josh Jacobs for the next year or two.
Maybe even right before free agency starts, you try to flip him back if you're worried about it. But I think, you're not going to get that much less value as long as he finishes the season fairly well, right? So,
I mean he's the RB2 right now in points per game.
Yeah.
So
there's risk involved in that. But I mean, at some point you got to push your chips in and go. Like, if you're a contender, like you said, go for it. So, what if he signed in with the Chargers? That's the scenario that I think would be so interesting, because you got an older Eckler.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Eckler would be 30, I think, next year, if I remember right, or a very old 29.
Something like that. Let's see.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Because I think what that would do is that would basically keep Jacobs in the role that he had at the beginning of his career, where he would be more of like a 220 for borderline 1,000 and maybe get 6, 7, 8 touchdowns, no receiving. And that, that's still solid. I don't think you're upset with that if you paid the first this year. But the upside is what happens if Eckler takes a step back, Eckler isn't there, something along those lines, and he gets that receiving work, kind of like what we saw last year without Kenyon Drake and what we're seeing now. So,
and we already know Sean Payton does well with 2 running back systems. So. Oh, super chat. You want to grab that?
I can grab it. A to the Z. Thank you guys. Great stuff as always. 10-team super flex, 1 point PPR. Traded Eckler and Wentz for ETN and Pickett a while ago. Russell Wilson is killing his team. So thoughts on Kenny Pickett? Also has Tannehill, Mariota, Willis, and Howell.
What do you think, Tyler?
Let's see.
I like it.
I will take Etienne and Pickett easily, right? I mean, I'd rather have Etienne over Eckler, and I'd rather have Pickett over Wentz by a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, this is a brag post.
I think a while ago, like depending on how long a while.
No, I think that's the point. I think that's the point of the super chat. No, I mean, this is saying that he did a great thing. This was a trade he made a while ago, and now look now. This trade is a huge W.
Like I was gonna say,
Right, I
like
mean-
depending on how long a while ago is, this trade might not have looked
Oh,
good.
it might. Yeah, but that doesn't matter. We're
But
not
now-
at a while ago.
Now
We're at now. And now this
now
trade
that
is a huge
ETN
win.
is
So
a top 5 dynasty running back, now it looks
but
great.
what we can do is congratulate A to Z on foresight and making a great move.
Love it.
And yeah, no, sorry I keep having to duck out. If you watched my show yesterday, I had to do it like 3 times. I might go see a doctor. My eyes are just not cooperating.
Man,
Like,
sorry to hear
really
that.
hurts. Yeah.
Appreciate you.
I'll be fine though.
toughing
Tough it
here.
out though.
Appreciate that.
That's how you know I'm human, not a Terminator.
Would you try to be? I feel like I would almost immediately try to flip Pickett with this
Why?
trade in a 10-team league.
Oh, well, maybe for that reason, but would you flip Pickett in general?
Yes.
Why?
I think it depends on what you can get. I think it's hard right now because he's at the point where I don't want to flip him to pivot to another quarterback in his range. You know,
Mhm.
like
You
I don't
think
want
it's been-
Mac. I
You
don't
think
want
Pickett's been
Fields.
bad?
But I don't think with this team he necessarily even needs Pickett.
Pickett's his best quarterback.
I think Pickett
Is
is.
that much of an upgrade if you can get something else for your team? I guess I feel like I'd go off QB. It's 10 team. It's 10 team, so it's not 12 team. 12 team. I wouldn't necessarily think the same way, but
I don't know. I think Pickett is underrated.
I like Pickett. And
it's good
But
to hear
that might
like
be the
a
Steelers
Steelers fan say that. I like it.
But I'm not a Steelers fan.
I was raging on him the other night.
People
but
just
on
look
Twitter.
at the box score and nothing else. They just see 2 touchdowns and 7 interceptions and look at nothing else. But the reality is that he's been very accurate. I mean, he's completed 68.5% of his passes. And I believe in game 1 with 3 interceptions, none of the 3 interceptions were turnover-worthy throws.
None of them were his fault. Literally
So,
0 of them.
He's been a lot better than the 7 interceptions would say.
Yes, yeah, I was going to say the fact that he was on prime time might have pulled his value down, and more.
He's also
the fact
been
that
more
people saw
mobile
him-
than I think people expected.
Appreciate that super chat there, and great trade, A2K. Would you trade 2 late 23 first for a CMC, Peoples Jones, and Jacoby Myers?
I don't think so.
Maybe, probably. I guess.
I think I probably would.
Uh,
I'm a contender.
Trying to win. I mean, this is what you have to do. In a super flex, I'm less likely to do it.
I just I don't
know,
want to
Madison.
do it.
I know.
I think it was who I can't remember who it was on the DLF podcast said that they would trade 2 first to get CMC now if they were contending.
Sounds like Matt Price.
I think it was Matt Price. I couldn't
Sounds
remember
like
exactly.
Yeah, I think Dan would do that too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Matt Price is on that list of Peter Howard and Scott Connor are on that list for me too, of people who I know are very smart, and I think they're very smart, but I seem to agree with on nothing.
Oh,
Scott
no.
Connor is the big one. Scott Connor and I don't think would agree on.
Scott Connor is brilliant.
Yeah.
He's
He's brilliant, but I don't think him and I would agree on anything. Whatever he says, I usually seem to be recommending the opposite, which makes me wonder sometimes. Like, but I found success sticking with my guns. But
Many ways to win.
yeah, that's true.
Kid Coop on a rebuild. Is it worth trading away Lawrence, B-Rob, and a second for Hurts? Can't decide if I should obtain Hurts to trade him to a contender this season, or just hold him until next year to compete. Keep Hurts.
Hurts.
Make the trade. Keep Hurts.
Hurts. Ooh.
With Hall
Oh, no.
and 5-2 with Hall and J.K. Dobbins on IR, I have Gus and Carter, but no running back depth. Well, what do you do?
Your wide receivers are great.
The wide receivers are
Yeah,
amazing.
Jefferson, Chase, Pittman, and Higgins that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Looking to repeat. Have 2 mid at 23 first. What to do?
What can you do?
Watch my video tomorrow.
Oh, come on, Addison.
No, I'm sorry. That's just a plug.
Addison, the people are going to think you're turning into me,
I know. I'm
promoting
sorry.
everything.
This is a case where I feel like you're first. If you think you can win, I would trade it for Josh Jacobs.
If that's what you have to do,
Okay, let me ask you
Would you
this.
rather Jacobs or Fournette?
Jacobs.
Okay.
Jacobs.
Just had to be
What
sure.
about it?
Fournette looks washed, man.
I don't
how
know.
close
He's
could
tough.
No, he looks washed. He's putting up the numbers in fantasy, but he looks washed.
Good, Cal.
could you get Chubb?
Maybe. I'd rather have Chubb over Jacobs, I guess.
For
Me too.
both? For both first?
No.
Well, that's what,
I'm not.
like.
gonna
What
pay
would it
both.
take? If it's both first, I don't know that I'm doing that.
It's not going to take. Both.
I don't think I want to pay both first for one running back. Like I'm not cashing in
Definitely
both
not.
of them because I mean you could say it's Saquon, it's Nick Chubb, it's Christian McCaffrey, whoever you want to put that on. They could be the next, like they could be Breece Hall this week,
Mhm.
and then you're in the same situation with two fewer firsts. So this is the type of situation where I was trying to help with my video tomorrow, where I was trying to find how do you maintain competing without mortgaging your future
Well,
in your first next year?
the solution
want-
to that,
Cheaper running backs.
I have the solution, Addison.
Go for it.
It's to have drafted a bunch of cheaper running backs in the first place. Also, I just woke up and I realized, not woke up on the show, but I woke up and realized on my Trade Addicts 8 roster that I tried to set my lineup earlier and I had an IR violation. And I was like, what is this IR violation? And then I realized, oh, Gus Edwards is illegally in my IR. I didn't even remember I had him. And now he could be my team is 4-3. It's kind of middle of the road. He could be a difference making player. So to have a lot of guys like that, Gus Edwards isn't the question.
Yeah.
I would say, I think I made this mistake in the past, and I think I need to get better about this. After a certain level, you should almost only pick running backs and almost nothing else.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think I've made this mistake in the past.
I will say, like, the last couple of weeks excluded, but Hall and JK probably haven't led to a lot of wins themselves for you.
Oh, Hall has.
Hall
So
probably-
last
Hall, I
couple
think,
of
was
weeks,
the
he's had some good
RB6
weeks, but he wasn't
on
very
the
good
year.
to start the season, is what I'm
He
saying.
was the RB6 on the year, so how bad could he have been?
He was the RB6 on the year, but the first few weeks he was still splitting and getting less carries than Michael Carter. So I'm saying,
the
like,
first
if you
2
got
weeks.
to 5-2 with these two as your starting two running backs, I
That's a
don't
good
know that
point.
you need a
Well,
ton.
J.K. Dobbins has actually
Yeah,
only
so-
hurt you.
Dobbins hasn't done any unless you
I
started
mean,
that
he is
one week. He
big.
scored
You
2
know,
touchdowns.
he is big failure. Big failure. I said that he was going to be a failure all offseason. A lot of failure, a lot of bad news. He said he was going to be ready, and then he wasn't. And now, of course, it's another 6 weeks it's going to be before he's ready. That's going to take too long. I think that Gus Edwards is a better running back at this point. He looked better this week than Dobbins had looked since 2020. It's been a long time since Dobbins looked that good. So I think J.K. Dobbins is finished, done. I don't want to see him come back. I would take whatever I could get for J.K. Dobbins, by the way, as we're talking about him. Anything, any second, and I can just be done with him. He is finished to me.
Could you
Washed up.
Cal, I think that was an excellent point, by the way, of perhaps the running backs haven't been doing as much for you in terms of your wins. I mean, Hall certainly over the past couple of weeks.
Last 2 weeks, but first 4 weeks he was
averaging, like,
RB
20 points per
17
game.
right? So it's not like he was.
But JK for sure. Do you think you could find one of the rebuilding teams in your league and just say, I'll give you JK Dobbins right now, and you give me your Devin Singletary, your, Raheem Mostert, like
I'm not sure I wouldn't rather have Devin Singletary. We're getting to that point. If Devin Singletary comes out after the bye and Buffalo continues with Devin Singletary at 80% and doesn't go to James Cook, which I have some fears. They got Zach Moss was a healthy scratch in the last game. James Cook got more involved. I am a little afraid that we come out of the bye week and we're in a 50-50 committee. I am afraid of that.
but it's better than JK Dobbins.
It's better. But J.K. Dobbins has more value installation long term because people think he's better. Like,
so then that means
if
you might
J.K.
be able to
Dobbins
go a
is
little higher.
ever healthy again, he'll be worth more than Devin Singletary at that point. People don't like Devin Singletary at all.
I think I'm
You never will.
okay. I'm okay with
No,
trading.
I
one of
think
your
that if
firsts.
Devin Singletary comes out this week after the bye, they had a chance to change it, and they don't change it, and he's the starter again, he'll be worth
He'll be good.
J.K. Dobbins at that point.
Yeah.
Well, sure. I just mean like it's like Marquise Brown. Like his ceiling is 4 seconds,
So it's not
no
even
matter how good he is. Thanks for that super chat, by the
Hopefully
way.
that helps.
Yeah, J-Rob is going to win a lot of people their fantasy leagues. Jets playoff games are so nice, and they have no commitment to him, so they will just run him into the ground so they can get a better comp pick.
I agree. They might literally run him into the ground. He might not even make it to the playoffs. So
I don't know. I think it's going to be a
he had
committee.
knee issues this week.
Did he, or did they just not want to take a chance?
That's what
of him?
Peterson said. He said that he had knee issues, that he's dealing with knee problems or something like that. That's why he didn't play him.
Maybe they knew they had a trade on deck, and they didn't want to take a chance of him getting hurt.
How would they have known? They played at the same time.
I don't know. Good point.
Addison makes a good point.
They couldn't have known.
Good point. John Henry's, hey, gents, happy Waffle Wednesday. Brutal weekend of football. Nearly all my leagues I'm tapping out for this year. Thoughts on trading Ken Walker the third? What would you be looking for? 23 first plus what?
Oh, I'm going to need multiple 23 firsts.
And apparently it needs to be not too late because we said
it's going to need to be
Walker
more than
too
that.
late.
I don't know. How about Garrett Wilson and a 23 first?
I like it.
How does that sound? That sounds better.
It sounds great.
Yeah.
A couple of interesting trades in the trade finder. Here's one: giving up Breece Hall and getting Ken Walker.
I get it. If you have to do it, I
That
get
was
it.
not horrible.
That's not horrible.
So could you trade Ken Walker and get Breece Hall?
If I'm rebuilding, I would take the points off my roster as well.
Yep, I like that. That's good. Good idea there. All right.
Also, people have been trying to tell me that Kenneth Walker is a better running back than Breece Hall, and I don't agree.
Is that one of those things where it's like Nick Chubb is a better running back than like Saquon Barkley, and it's more like the pureness of it, and it's just like
I don't think so. I think Breece Hall is better in every way. So no.
The question should be how many
answer that from Corey?
Oh, wait, what?
We
didn't.
Well, we've talked about this.
We did and we didn't.
Yeah,
we've talked about this on and off. I feel like throughout the show.
I think it depends on your team.
It does. There are certain situations where I wouldn't mind doing it.
Right.
The question should just be how many running backs that will come into the league next year should be ranked ahead of Breece. Should be a great class.
Probably one, but if Jahmyr Gibbs, I guess, gets.
I was going to say Gibbs is going to be.
It's one
around
for
the
sure.
Conversation.
Bijan was going to be ranked ahead of Breece anyway.
Yes, he was.
I mean, Bijan is twice the prospect Breece was. A lot better. I mean, they're not close.
Yeah, Bijan is Saquon Barkley prospect.
Better.
Well, he's like if
I think
CMC was Saquon size, maybe.
He's so good.
I think Bijan is the best running back prospect we've had.
Maybe since Zeke. Era. Zeke might have been the next. Zeke was the prospect.
Yeah. Well, Adrian Peterson, probably.
Okay.
Before the Dynasty era, though.
Ken K, thoughts on this trade? Is this the Ken K?
Don't think so.
10-team IDP, Dameon Pierce, and a third for a mid-23 first.
Come on, people. What are we doing? I'm going to be fighting this fight all freaking off season.
I think I'm going to take Dameon Pierce.
Stop.
Are you really?
No. I just wanted to piss Addison off.
No, he's
okay.
Not.
Good. There's a lot of talk about Pierce. Basically,
this is what they pay me for, to piss Addison off.
Well,
no, it to be fair, it doesn't happen very much. I feel like Addison and I agree more than me with almost any other co-host. It's close between Addison and Ryan from my other show, who agrees the most. But I don't pick co-hosts based on how much they agree with me. Cal and I don't. Well, yeah, we don't agree on that much. I feel like we're pretty different on takes. I feel like I have much more in common with that. I find myself agreeing with Addison more than Cal.
Take that, Cal.
Why is that bad? That just means we have. That just means we have different. No, it's good. It's a good thing. That means we have
what's funny is I
different.
would say I feel like I agree with Addison a lot. So it's a weird. I was going through the mental.
I'm just a
gymnastics
yes
in my
man. I
mind.
just whatever y'all
No,
say. I'm just gonna
I
say
do
yes.
feel like Cal. I feel like on a lot of things, like I'm on one and you're on the other, and Addison is between us. So it makes sense that we both agree with Addison more and less with each other. I do feel like that comes up a lot, where Addison's in the middle of the two of us on something.
Don't give up a first for Pierce. You're gonna regret that
first.
so much. Like
I feel
whatever
like
you
I'm
do.
the most willing of the three of us actually to give up a first for Pierce.
To actually do that.
I'm not actually going to do that, but you know me, I don't give up first very easily for anybody.
No.
But I like what Dameon Pierce can do this season. If I'm gonna give up a first,
I'd rather have Josh Jacobs.
Me too.
I guess I would
I'd
rather
rather
have
have-
Josh Jacobs, but
I feel like if that, depending on how mid that is, you might be able to do that and like an extra little piece to get like to ETN
Chubb.
at this point. Yeah, like it's
Houston just has so many picks. They scare me.
Chubb's gonna get so like his playoff schedule looks good. He's
I don't
got
think one first is going to be enough for Chubb.
a mid first plus like some kind of piece. I feel like you could get it done.
Yeah. I'd rather do that than trade that for.
I do
That's
think
so much better than getting Pierce.
I do think that the people are, when it comes to Dameon Pierce, I think he's better. And I guess we would say this about everyone, but I do legitimately think he's better than James Robinson and Elijah Mitchell, kind of the two comparables.
Sure.
Slightly better draft capital. Like he wasn't a nobody. Like James Robinson was a nobody. And Elijah Mitchell was, I would say, less well known, but more, than Dameon Pierce. And Dameon Pierce has been more of a workhorse than those. But there is always the possibility that they could be replaced. I think people are overconfident.
Possibility, right? Like it's like probability. It's like gonna happen.
It's when, not if.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that the most likely outcome, I mean,
I think he goes one more year. I think he survives 23.
I mean, to be honest with you, the 49ers didn't replace Elijah Mitchell. He was the starter, then got hurt, and then they replaced him.
Yeah.
But if he hadn't gotten hurt and he had the opportunity to be the starter, he was the starter, and then he got hurt.
Yep.
So,
Which you're always going to take that for.
but what it's always the same thing is like
You get
these
Christian
low
McCaffrey.
draft capital players are one injury, one bad stretch away from being replaced at all times until the team pays them.
Look what Tyrion Davis-Price did to Elijah Mitchell's value when he got drafted.
It's
Yeah,
true.
but also,
Draft capital.
I think Elijah Mitchell's
Without
value was
worried.
just a mistake on my part. I think I valued him too high. Like that's a mistake I'm not going to repeat.
I'm going to repeat it.
You're going to repeat it with Dameon Pierce? You're going to value
Not
him
with
that
Pierce,
highly
no.
again?
I'm going to find another Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah.
So James Robinson's rookie year, he averaged 17.9 PPR points a game. He was the RB7. That's Christian McCaffrey is averaging basically the same amount right now.
I think my issue with James Robinson, and I think I should have considered this, is that James Robinson was honestly his rookie year, he was pretty good. This is really, I think that one is kind of the one. Elijah Mitchell had injuries. I think I should have been more skeptical. James Robinson, I get it, missing on him.
But yeah, that's what I feel like as good as Pierce is, he is actually so he's only got 15.6 points per game. And I'm not like, but I'm just saying like we're like, oh yeah, he's too good for this to happen. We just got quite a super chat.
What?
I lost that place. Let's go to that.
This isn't real, is it?
Caleb.
Thank
Hall
you.
of Fame. You're in the Hall of Fame of Ask DLF now.
Thank you.
You
Wait,
wanna
can
come
we
on the
like
show?
screen cap this? We appreciate you.
Caleb.
I don't even know what to
A
say.
moment of silence for Caleb.
The rest of the show will now be devoted to Caleb and Caleb.
Yeah,
alone.
sure. Let's do that. Actually, you want to put that in the show notes on the comments, Addison? Sorry, I don't know how to react to an $100 super chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Caleb.
We need to answer this question so well.
I know. I know.
All right. Cal,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Caleb, what's our thoughts on this? 16 team IDP start 11 both sides. He's got Mac. Start 11 on both sides. Wow. Okay, that's
great. That's
16
crazy.
team
Think
league.
about it.
That's deep.
And
That's
it's 16 teams too. It's so
Right.
many.
Mac, Zach Wilson. So you don't have a good quarterback. Najee Harris, J.K. Dobbins, Ken Walker, Brees, Carter, Higgins, Pickens, Elijah Moore, Pitts, Pat. Is that Cordell Patterson?
Patterson. Yeah, Cordero Patterson.
Seemed like a strange place to put him. I've been rebuilding for a couple of years, but not competing this year. Brees, Dobbins, etc. What's next? Sell running backs, hold for 23.
It's not Pat Frymuth, right?
Oh, it could be. Makes more sense given where it's put.
You know, the best rookie tight end from the 21 class.
No. It is Pat Frymuth.
Okay.
Well,
Most of this team looks like one that I would be rebuilding on.
I agree. I mean, without Brees, it's tough. I probably can't replace him in a 16 team. Carter lost some value with James Robinson coming in. Elijah Moore is nowhere to be found.
Kyle Pitts.
Pitts is not doing much. So it's hard to know without the IDP side and how I don't know how that works really.
Is this super flex?
This is super flex. This is really brutal.
I don't think
I hope
so.
it's not.
I feel like he would have said that here.
Most 16 team leagues, I feel like, are 1 QB.
Yeah.
But if it's not, starting 11 on offense means a lot of flexes in the other.
And we don't have a lot of depth here.
Right.
I think the way I would attack this is all of your running backs are gone. They're gone like over the next couple of weeks, and they're all converting to wide receiver.
You had that 24 hours to sell Michael Carter, but that's gone now.
Yeah.
But Ken Walker might be my first move, huh?
Ken Walker might be the first move. He goes to a contender.
Yeah.
Brees might be next
It's
if you
not
can
super
find
flex.
somebody else. Okay.
So then the quarterback situation is not quite as dire, but it's still not good.
Yeah, but you can figure that out next. I think the most dire part of this actually is the wide receiver position.
Yeah. And I want to know how many wide receivers you can start, because that's
Addison,
what
you have
I've
to
tried
understand
go.
it's a 16 team league. This is not that dire.
I get that, but like, I just when you have the number of running backs that you have, which you could argue
To
that
be
you
honest,
have
Addison, I think
4 top 20 running backs in Dynasty, with 2 of them being top 7.
I guess we don't know this, but this team, let's say this team was drafted this year.
Okay.
Let's say any team in a 16 team league that drafted Pitts is going to look bad. This is probably about as good as it could be.
That's true.
No,
That's
I think
true.
before the season, you were like pumped about this team.
Probably.
Well,
But
before
I
the season, you were
agree.
probably thinking, "Oh, this team is maybe a year away. You know, it has a lot of young players." And then Walker, Brees, and Pickens have exceeded expectations. Although this team actually has a lot of good players for a 16-team league. Now that I'm looking at it,
It's
That's
got a
what
lot
I
of
mean,
Players who
like-
have more value than production right now, though. And I'd like to know how many wide receivers I could start. Like how many flex spots there are. How
start
many running backs
11.
do
I
you
would
have to
assume
start?
that the problem is that we don't have enough players to start, not that we don't have enough wide receivers. I feel like we don't even see. I mean, we're only seeing 12 players,
Right.
and one of them is out for the year.
That probably means
And the other
Patterson
one
is
is
first guy on the
Dobbins
bench.
is out for who knows how long. So
I really like there is so much value on here. I love what you've done with the
Mhm.
offensive side of the ball.
start up to 5 wide receivers, 4 running backs. So pretty
yeah,
flexible.
that to me, like I am trying to move Kenneth Walker. I'm trying to move Dobbins.
Walker and Najee. Dobbins, I feel like
Dobbins, you can't get much, but I just
can't
don't
get
want him.
anything.
I just don't
Wait a
want him.
minute. 53?
Well,
I mean,
the
that
IDP
makes
side and
sense.
all.
When it's
You're starting
IDP, you're
22.
starting 22 players a week.
Yes, yeah. This is crazy. I mean, you're probably rostering like nobodies at some point.
Yeah, you have to.
Le'Veon Bell might still be on the roster,
Well-
even though he boxed more recently.
But so,
It-
many,
it
so
might
much
not
of it's
need
going
to
to
be
be on the
that
IDP side.
It
I
could be
think that's-
25 and 25, basically. You could have 25
Yeah, that's
offensive players
true.
and 25
Right.
defensive
That's true.
players. Which
But 25 times 16 is still 400, Addison. I don't
I
rank
guess-
400
I guess-
players. I don't rank
well,
400.
no, but half of them are defensive players.
No, it's 53. So let's say even if it's 25 each and a 16-team league, that's not even 53, and it's 400 players roster
I
on
get what you're
each
saying.
side of the ball.
Math. Okay.
I only rank, even in my deepest rankings, I only rank like 315 players. You're going to roster, there's going to be like 85 players that I don't rank roster.
This is a league for
Okay,
sure.
Dobbins plus what equals Marquise Brown?
You can't trade Dobbins right now. You have to wait for him to come back. Nobody is going to trade for Dobbins while he's out.
It would have to be a first in this, a late first.
Yeah, you can't
At
trade
least.
Dobbins is just a hold. It's
Caleb, can I
Najee-
know, since you're in here, what picks do you have for 23?
It's Najee and Walker are the ones I would look to move right now, especially Najee. Najee, I just feel like he looked a little bit better last week. Running backs, people need those.
In a
He hasn't
16
been great,
team,
but
people
16
need
team
them.
people are going to want him. I would look to move on from Najee if you could.
Carter too, I would like to move. I just want to transfer my value from running back to wide receiver.
Yeah, he
That's
just has
all
his
I
own
basically
picks.
wanted. Just your own picks. Okay.
Yeah.
Could you get Wan'Dale Robinson for Michael Carter or something like that? I guess I'd be looking at wide
I would
receivers.
try.
I'd be looking at these wide receivers. Jamison Williams. I'd see if I can try to get
Jameson
somebody
Williams
like
is not a
him.
bad name.
for
Yeah.
Dobbins? Could you get that for Dobbins?
No.
I would try.
Oh, I
In
mean,
a
I'd love to
16-team
try.
16-team league. I feel like there's going to be some running back starved people who will see Dobbins and think like, "Oh, okay, I'll take."
Yeah,
that.
find the contender who is able to wait on Dobbins for 4 months. And
I just
sell
think
him that
it's
and just be
been-
like, imagine
At
your
this
team
point,
now.
it's been
contending.
almost 2 years since people started Dobbins and were happy.
That's been 2 weeks. They got 20 points out of him a couple weeks ago.
We could have said the same thing about Saquon.
That's true.
I want to approach the contenders in this league and say, I want to give you J.K. Dobbins. You have the ability to wait on him to come back. Imagine your starting lineup when J.K. Dobbins comes back. All I need from you in return is this one wide receiver that you're not playing right now. Or your pick,
Mm-hmm.
which I guess like a late second isn't super helpful. But I guess IDP players kind of get mixed in there.
Yeah.
So it's not the worst, but
That's
that's what I
the
want
best
to do.
case scenario for me because the value's insulated. The value's going to go up, but I also don't mind buying low on some of these guys that are, Jahan Dotson. People might be.
Yeah, he was
You
pretty
might be with
good. He
him.
flashed and then went out. That's a good play.
Dobbins for Dotson might be a good one.
Mm-hmm. I would.
Dotson's
definitely
a little bit of the forgotten man right now.
Yeah, he is.
Well, I hope that helps. Thank you for letting us know that it's possible to give $100 here, Caleb. And
I
that
didn't
it's
even.
red
I
when you
honestly
do.
did not
Yeah.
know that was like allowed. I didn't know if there was a maximum amount, but I thought it was less than that. if there
So
was one.
at the start of every single show now, we have to do something for Caleb, I think.
We
I'm
need
good
to,
with
somebody
that.
edit him into the Ask DLF intro video. Thank you, Caleb. John Henry is looking to bolster his wide receiver room in the leagues that he has. Ken Walker the third.
What the?
Okay. All right.
Wait, hold on. We just got another one.
Let's go. Let's get it. Ricky Rice. We need to get him in there too.
Shout out to Caleb for the inspiration.
I'm
I
gonna
need
create
to-
like
half
a
the time now.
I'm gonna create like
Can
an
we
end
create?
credits
I mean,
roll.
Addison, I believe and correct me if I'm wrong. I can see this on my YouTube channel, so I know you can see it too. You have a list. You're given a list of super chats in the YouTube studio,
Yes.
so you can create a wall of fame or something.
Yeah, I
Ooh.
can do something like maybe
Ooh.
like an end credit scene. Like we play, how we play like the beginning
Yes.
video. Maybe we do like an end credits or something like that.
Beautiful.
I'm good with that.
By the way, Ricky and Caleb, just to put this out there, if either one of you guys don't have a DLF premium subscription, message either one of us three on Twitter
Mhm.
and tell us that you don't, because then we'll hook you up with one.
Great idea.
Yeah, we will. I think
We-
that's a good idea. This is more than the TLF subscription cost for a year, isn't it? It's $39.99, right?
I think it's 40. I think it's 49, but you can.
49?
We
But
have
still.
many promotions to knock that down.
Yeah, it's usually Black Friday is coming
Black Friday is
up.
the biggest one.
Oh,
Sure.
it's a good point. Keep an eye out for that. The Black Friday yearly DLF
It's the
sale
biggest
biggest sale of the year is a
sale of the
month
year for
away.
promo.
Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
But yes, Ricky and Caleb, let us know if you don't have DLF Premium.
Let's
and we can get you in.
Addison probably would know the most about how to get that set up.
We'll just message either one of us three.
Yeah.
Then we'll figure it out, and then I'll talk to Ken and whoever, and we'll get that for you.
And we'll answer your question here now too. So he shouts out Caleb for the inspiration and needs a running back. Was offered Dante Foreman for Kyron Williams and Jalen Warren. Is that an easy accept? Thank you. Y'all are dope. I say no. What do you guys
It's
think?
an easy accept for the other side.
Yeah, that's what I
For
think.
Kyron?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Jalen Warren is the one of the three players here that's worth the most.
I think
Kyron's
Kyron
come back with some value.
I was gonna say Kyron is kind of sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
It's if Kyron actually comes back and Cam Akers is actually traded and doesn't get back on. I mean, you always can see what happens, right? Elijah Moore, 1 week was he's never playing for the Jets again. The next week is, well, he will be playing for the Jets again. So
Right. But I got like Deonta Foreman right now is the lead guy for Carolina. Jalen Warren is still behind Najee. So there's an argument that as of right now, currently, Deonta Foreman is the most valuable of these three.
But in Dynasty, I think that Jalen Warren is the one of these that has the most like staying power. Jalen Warren looks better, most of the year has looked better than Najee. Not saying he is better, but he's looked better.
Is there a possibility that Foreman is the starter for the Panthers next year, or at least in the conversation to be on like there?
No, there's zero possibility of that.
Because like of all the teams that don't need a running back next year and could just stay with what they got.
I think we saw with Carolina that the entire roster is actually not terrible. Carolina's defense is not that bad. They've invested on the defense for years. The problem with Carolina is if you have a terrible quarterback, you have a terrible team at the end of the day. And Carolina now has a second-round pick. They have extra. Don't they? Yeah, they have an extra second. And then let's see.
Third.
I believe they traded their third to New England. So they have a third, but they have an extra second. They have a third. They have an extra fourth. And then, they still have their first, which would probably be a quarterback. But they have an extra second. Plus, they have free agency as a possibility. Deonta Foreman, I believe, is a free agent. There's no guarantee.
I think so.
Yeah. No, probably. Of these players, Foreman would be the one in Dynasty I think is worth the least.
I agree. But as the most right now.
Let's also remember that they intended Chuba Hubbard to start that game. He did.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got hurt.
Yeah.
He got hurt. And Deonta Foreman saw more work because of that. Mm-hmm. So
I'm not disagreeing. Like I was with you guys that Kyron Williams and Jalen Warren is the side that I want on this one. But I can see why you would try to go towards Deonta Foreman.
Yes, but on both, if I acquire both right there for Deonta Foreman, I feel like that's a great cash out of Foreman. And then I'm going to be looking to cash out of both of them too. Once they get to the place where their value is to the point where I can get a second round pick even, I would do that.
I agree with that.
But both realistically could be worth that this season. Like you don't need that many things to go crazy for that to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, what if there's a Najee injury?
Right.
Then to be fair though, we don't like starting Najee, so why we like starting Jalen Warren? But the value would increase.
I feel like of these, Warren is the only one who has a real path.
I think Kyron has a path.
Yeah.
To what?
Darrell Henderson has never stayed healthy.
Yeah, but Kyron is
weeks away. Give him a full load anyway.
Kyron is weeks away from coming back.
Like if he were 10, wasn't it?
That's allegedly. But that's weeks. That's multiple weeks. That's 2 more weeks and then a third to come back. It's not like he's coming back this week. It's going to be a few more weeks.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, it could be a few weeks before Najee gets hurt, but
yeah, if Kyron were healthy now, I would say that would be an opportunity. But remember that after a few weeks, the trade deadline has passed. Do you really think? Because what I think is not going to happen is if Cam Akers is not traded by the deadline, do you think that Cam Akers is going to sit out the rest? I think that Cam Akers, they're just going to tell him, well, we have you under contract. I mean, what are they going to do? Just healthy scratch him?
They might.
I guess.
To get to the
heart, the Colts did that with Marlon Mack last year.
Could you trade Kyron Williams and Jalen Warren and get? Would you trade them and get Brian Robinson?
Wow, you can't do that. I would love to do that, but that's
I have a question. Could you do that and get Elijah Mitchell?
What is Elijah Mitchell doing for me?
He is a McCaffrey injury away from being back to where he was.
To me, there's no difference between Elijah Mitchell and Jaylen Warren. You're talking about two players.
There's a major difference.
Which is what?
That we
If
don't
there's an
want
injury.
we don't want to start Najee, so why would we start Jaylen Warren? We know what Elijah Mitchell can do in the Niners offense when he is the guy.
Yeah.
If he needs points, what would you have to add?
Can I be honest with
Could
you?
you get Gus
Addison?
Edwards?
Can I be honest with you? I think this is similar to some other situations. I actually think we'd be better off with Jaylen Warren if Najee got hurt than we are with Najee now. Because I think if Najee got hurt, Jaylen Warren would get everything and would not be splitting with anyone else. So I actually disagree with you. And Najee is hurt now. We know he's not healthy. We know that Liz Frank is no good. So to me, Elijah Mitchell and Jaylen Warren have a lot in common. So I'm not combining him with Kyron Williams to go to Elijah Mitchell.
Is it Gus Edwards? Can you get Gus Edwards?
Well, Gus Edwards, I actually believe is you can trust him. Gus Edwards, you can trust.
Could you trade Kyron Williams for Cordero Patterson?
Ooh.
When is he coming back? I mean, how long? I mean,
next week.
He posted on Instagram. He's pretty close.
He posted multiple videos on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Cordero Patterson, I trust. If Cordero Patterson is active, if he's active, you can play him.
But you might
put Gus Edwards in that category.
Could you get James Robinson?
James Robinson is more worth more in Dynasty.
But you probably wouldn't have to add much to it. Could you do Kyron Williams in the third and get James Robinson? Maybe.
I would do that. I'd take James Robinson there.
All right. Hopefully that helps Ricky and Caleb. Thank you guys. And
or Jamal Williams. Could you get Jamal Williams?
I don't think you can. He's been too good for the season.
But if people are like, oh, Switch is coming back, Williams is going to not be in. Yeah,
the problem was Jamal Williams wasn't so good this week.
Yeah.
There's that too.
All right. Thank you both. Let's go back to, John stuck with you on the Kenneth Walker. It's a 102.
There was another super chat in there that I think we missed. I think it got lost in the 49 and $100 super chats. But I can start. I'm a little confused. I can start one running back and five wide receivers. Do you like Michael Carter with 8.5?
Week 8, half PPR?
8, half PPR. No, I don't. I have Michael Carter for this week at running back 32. I know that the Bears ran all over New England, but I'm not sure the Jets are going to do the same.
I want Gus.
Oh, yeah, Gus. Yeah.
If this is like a start-sit between Gus and Carter, I want Gus.
I have Gus at 25, Carter at 32. And in half PPR, those rankings are PPR. In half PPR, the gap would only widen. Carter would be lower. Gus would be higher. Because Gus doesn't catch anything. So he'd be even higher.
Yeah. Good question right here. Peanut butter jelly time, 1 QB, PPR Dynasty. I'm number 3 on the waiver wire. Should I use it to pick up QB Sam Ellinger? Mother 2 QBs or Stafford and Garoppolo?
And a 1 QB.
Oh,
one
QB.
QB, no. I'd say no. I'd say you're going to get a better opportunity on the waiver wire in a 1 QB.
It might be possible that Ellinger doesn't even get picked up.
Yeah.
If it's
in a 1 QB, I mean, in a shallow 1 QB, I'd leave him on waivers.
Yeah. It could be one of those things that you see. Maybe he survives and then you pick him up for free after your waiver run. It might be one of those things.
He's not a must add to me.
No.
In 1 QB. I have said in Superflex, this is it. I'd spend everything in Superflex. I don't think you're going to get a better.
You're getting a starter for the next.
You're getting a starter for the rest of the year, and someone who you just never know. This could be the guy.
What if he's Bailey Zappi? If he's Bailey Zappi and can start for 8 weeks out of the year.
More importantly, Sam Ellinger can run, and I think that is ultimately what you're hoping. Like Sam Ellinger is one of 3 college quarterbacks ever to have 90 passing touchdowns and 30 rushing touchdowns. Like he was prolific in college. So I think this is as a runner. So he's going to be fantasy relevant. I don't think he's going to be good for anybody else in the passing game or anybody else on the team, but Marcus Mariota is a quarterback who is winning games right now, and I think that's what the Colts are seeing. And can he be that? Maybe.
But in a 1 QB, I would say
No, I still wouldn't use the number 3 waiver wire on that, but unless it's a super deep league, if it's like a 35-man roster and quarterbacks never come around and are never available, maybe, because you might,
By the
they might
way,
have some trade value in that.
we're 14 minutes into when the show started.
I know, we got to go.
Let's go.
Kelsey, Adams, and Rondale Moore, or Mixon, Cooper, Cooks, Higbee, and a 23 third.
But that just goes to show if you have $50 and $100 super chats, it'll slow the show down in a good way.
Yeah.
Kelsey and
We'll
Adams.
also answer any of them, even if they're $5. Doesn't matter. We'll answer
That's
all
true.
of them. So
Kelsey and Adams.
Yes. Yes, Kelsey and Adams.
what's Elijah Moore worth if I want to trade for him? I have extra 23 seconds that are early to mid. Win now, but wide receiver is my weakest position.
Well, he's not going to help you, but I would send the 23-second for him anyway.
Yes, I agree.
Why is everyone not talking about Eckler having an insane year fantasy-wise? He's first or second in PPR.
Are we not talking about it?
I've seen a
He's
lot
first.
of people talk about it.
First with a bullet. He's 25 points a game right now, which is insane.
I've seen like Field Yates talk about it. I've seen multiple other bigger name analysts. They're talking about like how he's on pace to break the receiving record for running backs. And I saw somebody comparing what he did the first 7 weeks of this year compared to what he did last year. He's spitting in the face of touchdown regression and actually
Eckler's
catching more passes.
he's giving you a final sell window.
Yeah, well, that's true.
And if you don't take it, you're just going to take the rest of his career, which is fine.
I would take the champion. You're riding him to
Yeah.
a championship right now.
I would just ride him.
I'd take the championship, but
Right.
yeah, just know that this is a glory, hallelujah for Austin Eckler.
Singletary or a 23 mid second.
I want the
That's about
second,
right.
but if you really needed a
If you
running
need
back, I get
Singletary,
it.
it's fine.
What are we seeing out of Paris? Colts. Paris Campbell.
The Eiffel Tower.
Nothing. He sucks.
Nothing with Ellinger. Nothing.
I was gonna say like one game out of the past 4 years.
Yeah, he's bad. I'm not interested.
Henry's getting offers for Ken Walker. The Vultures are out. He's 6-1. Tied for first. Got an offer getting Barkley for Walker, Ertz, and a 23 first, and he passed. Was that a good move?
Is there an
Yeah,
argument
yeah,
for
Walker side
over
easily.
Barkley?
I'd rather have the Walker side too. Yep. Is the new QB change a good thing for Paris or Alec Pierce? I don't think it's good for any of the passing game options. I think they are going to want to run the ball a lot more.
Is there
I don't
it might be good for Ashton Doolin, the whole like third string quarterback to the third string wide receiver thing.
I think it's fine. I'm not concerned about it really.
I think he'll
The
lean on
Noah Brown
Pittman.
effect.
Yeah.
I think this is a good thing that shows that the Colts are going to move on from Matt Ryan after this year.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
He might retire.
It's hard to project what Sam Ellinger is going to do. 'cause it's
Might
just like-
retire. He's been cooked for 2 years.
Right, but it's like leaving 35 million on the. That's why I'm saying might. That's a lot to walk
Well,
away
no
from.
team is going to employ him, so he's going to be forced into retirement whether he wants to or not.
Ridley Truther, you guys trying to pivot off of London, off his dynasty value to someone who is actually producing. Would Diggs, Waddle, Hill for London in a second make sense? I assume this is one of Diggs, Waddle, and Hill, not the combination of the
Well,
three.
Waddle would be nice. You keep a young
Waddle would be
player
great.
and produce.
I really wouldn't mind Diggs either. I wouldn't
I'd
do
do
it
it
for
for all
Tyreek.
three. I'd do it for all three.
I don't know if I'd do it for Tyreek.
You had to. Diggs and Hill are the same thing to me.
He's contending, trying to win a championship.
Hill
I
is
would do it.
producing just as much as Diggs and is younger.
Yeah, but Josh Allen.
You're not giving up a first.
Yeah, I guess I don't mind. I don't.
There are worse things.
Atlanta's
If you're
gonna make the
contending and
playoffs.
this is what you have to do,
Waddle,
do it.
Diggs, Hill. That's my order of priority.
Arthur Smith is not going to get fired.
I do have it in that order. I have Diggs just ahead of Hill. They're back to back.
Gosh, Atlanta threw 13 passes and they trailed all game.
Putrid.
It was literally they were trailing for 100% of their offensive snaps.
Fire Arthur Smith.
They're going to make the playoffs. He's not going
They
to get
can't
fired.
fire him. Yeah, they're going to be a
I
playoff
can-
team.
I can
they're gonna
fire
have
him.
19th
fire
overall
him.
pick.
Atlanta won't.
They're gonna
I can-
they're gonna
I
play
can fire
themselves
him.
out of a top 15 playoff pick. They're gonna be 119.
Incompetent Smith. That's going to be my new nickname for him.
Look, he's
Incompetent
winning
Smith.
games. He might win the NFC South with Marcus
That
Mariota.
is very sad. That is a very sad thing.
But that makes him not incompetent, if you ask me. Like that guy.
I don't.
his
No,
favor.
no.
I don't
He
agree. The rest of
is
the rest of the
completely
division
incompetent.
is so bad.
Not many coaches you could hand Marcus Mariota to and win. Today I was offered Derrick Henry, Irv Smith, second and a third for Walker and Njoku, and my first.
Oh, Walker easily. I
Yeah.
mean,
These are
Walker's worth
horrible
more than the other package.
Is this what happens in the FFPC?
I know this isn't good, Henry. These are not good trade offers.
Walker's worth more than the other side.
Rob is an unlucky Brees owner. Zeke owner is interested, thinking of offering Brees in a mid-second for Zeke in a mid-first.
No.
Oh, well, I mean, if that first is going to end up being the 101, then sure. But otherwise, no.
Okay. Then
That's the only
yes.
way. Yep.
But
Let's see. Henry traded Devonta Smith for a 23 first. Ooh, to give me 23 first. That team was 2-4, now 3-4. I also own the 116 first. My team 7-0, just won last week with Cup, Diggs, Gabe Davis on a bye. Yeah. Not bad.
Yahtzee, dude.
I love it.
Henry's doing work.
Trogdor missed the show last couple weeks, but 5-time league bowling champion. Nice job, Trogdor.
Good job.
Need a running back I can trade a late second for. That's good
I feel
value.
like we've had like 5 versions of this question.
This is the time everybody wants that. So
Yeah.
I think that's
Watch my
Ezekiel
videos.
Elliott. There's a new answer. Ezekiel Elliott.
Is he really in there? I guess if it's late second.
Late second. Yeah.
He's getting the volume. So nah.
Yeah. You can start him this week.
Bo in the house. What's up,
Hey,
Bo?
Bo.
Bonnie in here.
Hey,
What's up,
Bonnie.
What's up, Bonnie?
Fantasy community. And of course,
Bonnie's great, by the way. If anyone's looking for a new fantasy analyst to follow.
My favorite.
Well, she's not new, but if she's new to you.
My favorite 90s first baseman, Cecil Fielder here. Where's Burrow rank in Dynasty quarterback rankings?
I have him QB6.
Math in my head. 6 sounds right. Am I
This
getting
is
him
why-
to 7? Go with
Allen,
Tyler,
Lamar, Herbert, Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, I assume, are the 5 you have.
That's correct.
So not Kyler Murray.
No.
that I would whichever one's cheaper between Kyler and Burrow, I'll take that one.
Burrow or Deshaun Watson?
Burrow.
Burrow.
Does
Ask
a
me
late
again.
23 first get you Debo?
I don't think it does.
It doesn't. But
I wouldn't do this. I think he's
I
the
have
one
a-
that's the most hurt by Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, I absolutely agree. I've dropped
Meh.
Debo in my ranks significantly.
No, I don't think.
But I still don't think a late 23 first gets you Debo. I'd rather have Debo.
Would you tear down from JT to Travis Etienne and Derrick Henry?
Oh,
No, I'd still rather have
Oh.
JT, but
I wouldn't.
oh.
this is not a bad offer. This is not a just reject out of hand.
I might do it. Ooh. Can I get a fun throw in? Can I get Wandale? Can you add in Wandale and I'll take it?
Kadarius Toney.
You know, I'd probably take it.
Kadarius Toney is negative.
That,
He detracts.
I'd probably take it.
Before his rookie draft, Henry was offered Mixon and a third for 102. Gabe Davis passed. Thank God.
Wow. What are these offers?
It's a strong offer, like on the day of, though.
No, it's not.
I don't feel like anybody was like super excited about 102 at the time. West Coast Cheaper. Hello, gentlemen. 12 teams. Superflex PPR. I'm currently sitting 13-1 in first. I can acquire Hall for my first and Rashad White. Should I do it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Great teaser. I think it's gonna be fun.
That's my video, I think. Hopefully. Please, Bonnie, let it be my video.
You are making sure, like, this better be the most watched video of all time.
Oh, I hope so.
Go make sure you watch that video, if nothing else. 12-team Dynasty Superflex Championship team shipped to 23 seconds for Josh Jacobs and DeAndre Hopkins. That's easy smash.
Jacobs easily. I don't need Hopkins.
Well, if they're gonna give you Hopkins, take Hopkins. But yes.
Well, I'm not saying I don't want to take it. I'm just saying that I don't need Hopkins to make it the Jacobs side.
Agreed.
Rebuilding team with Jacobs is accidentally competing.
Oh no, Colby told us who the.
I know. I didn't even.
No,
that's who I thought it was. But I'm not,
that's exactly who I thought it was. We referenced that indirectly earlier.
Bonnie wants to know why I look like a NASCAR driver. I look like Ricky Bobby in Talladega Nights. Hopefully, that's what I'm going for at least, and that this is his outfit. So,
yes. I think that's a good lesson, though. If people don't, we're talking about the whole thing with trading Breece Hall away. I think it's a good lesson that just because someone doesn't agree with you doesn't mean that that person is like dumb or stupid. Like there can be people who disagree and have differing opinions where both people are smart. It happens. But yes, I listed 3 people that I think are very smart, who I agree with on almost nothing, but I still think they're very smart. So just remember that differing opinions is fine.
Bonnie, if you're not first, you're last. Okay. Dear 8-pound, 7-ounce baby Jesus. Peanut butter jelly time.
We did this one already.
Okay. Nicholas, I got offered a third and a small piece for Bailey Zappi, but chose to hold. I think his stock can improve at this point for being on my taxi squad.
Yeah.
We have not yet really discussed Bailey Zappi, have we?
Not to the full effect.
I mean, Bailey Zappi, I feel like I don't even know.
I'm not taking a third for him in the Superflex League.
No, I'm not either.
I'm gonna ride it out.
He's to me, it's like that when Gardner Minshew, when you could get something from Gardner Minshew, you should have.
But a third,
I'd rather have Sam Ehlinger over Bailey Zappi, just in that Sam Ehlinger we know is actually going to be starting some games. They go back to Mac Jones next week and then never return to Bailey Zappi.
Yeah. He's not a long-term option. I don't think.
I don't
either. It is early Halloween costume. So you're correct. Josh Dietz, Tyler, lately you have suggested that we reevaluate how we view running backs' value in Dynasty before the Breece Hall injury. However, I'm in a 14-team Superflex where you have to start 3 running backs offered JT for 223 late first.
Well, I'll take JT there. I think maybe I've changed a little bit, but I would say that I've suggested that more people value running backs the way I did before, which is not wanting them. So, yeah, I think that was more of my suggestion, is that people should be more like what I was doing.
I'll take JT.
I said this throughout the offseason, like that I was fine with having teams where Leonard Fournette was my first running back taken, or that I took no good running backs at all and just backfilled with all running backs later. I feel like I said that many times on here.
That's my strategy.
Yeah.
I'm a long-time proponent of do the opposite strategy.
Which is
it's what people call zero RB now, but it started way long time ago with do the opposite.
Yeah, I feel like I'm zero RB a lot of the time also. Especially in Superflex, because I'm so pro early quarterback. I almost never end up with a good running back.
But you have to do it right. Like, I think there's a lot of bad information out there about it.
Well, pick good players and avoid bad ones, Cal. That's always the best advice.
Would you trade Russ, Sky Moore, and a 23 third for Fields and a 23 second?
Who would you rather have, Fields or Russ?
Fields.
Fields is quietly looking better.
Yes, he is.
He's also producing for fantasy.
I agree. I'd rather have Fields.
Yeah, he's running more. I think I would take the Field side on this too, because you also get the second, so it's nice. It's a nice little buffer piece.
Fields for me.
Ooh, would you trade Sky and a third for a second?
Maybe.
I feel like I would at this point.
Depends on where it is.
I'd rather not. But I'd trade Sky for a second straight up.
Does Bapjap drop the 49ers special teams? I assume that's defense and special teams for someone else like the Falcons or the Jags?
Not for those teams.
Feels weird.
I have the 49ers as defense 7 this week.
A late
Jags at
third
10,
and fourth for Hunt? Yeah,
Falcons
that's
at
even better.
What the heck?
16.
Frank loves the costume. He gets it. Yeah.
Also here.
Yes, it is Ricky Bobby. That's me. Yes. Redraft, would you trade either Rashad Bateman or Brandon Cooks for Brian Robinson?
Bateman.
I think I might trade either.
I probably would trade either, but I would prefer to trade Bateman.
I'd prefer to trade Bateman away in redraft.
Yes.
12-team Superflex Dynasty Championship team traded away
did
two 23 seconds for Josh
We did this
Jacobs.
already.
We did that. Good job. Hey, trading one player for 3 assets. Probably.
Maybe.
Let's see. Oh, this was the continuation of that question. Accidentally have a winning record, rebuild, still trying to shed the points. Can't get any 21st for Jacobs. Jacobs or Rashad White in a 24 first.
Oh, if you're in a rebuild and it's this or nothing, I would take this over nothing. Reluctantly.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it really does. Usually I say try to do better, try to find a better deal. But I think we're getting that it's this or nothing here from the discussion of this question. And if it's this or nothing, I'd take this over no deal in a rebuild.
Would you trade Jalen Warren for a 23 third and Malcolm Brown?
Malcolm Brown's irrelevant, so he is 0 value. So for 23 third, no, I wouldn't.
Hold, because I think that could turn into more.
Right.
2/3 though. 2/3 I would take, but not just one. If I can get 2 chances to get something better, I'd take it, but not just one chance.
10-team Superflex, start 9, half PPR, give 23 first, get Zeke, and a 23 second.
No.
I could counter
No,
try to
no,
make
no,
it.
No.
No.
We're not countering. We're not thinking about this. This is not happening.
Who that dude traded away Dobbins in week 4 for Travis Etienne. Wow, great job.
Let's go.
Well, I think some people were in favor of Dobbins.
No.
I'm not sure where I would have landed on this at the time in week 4, to be
I
honest
know.
with you.
Some people.
Nobody has patience.
Blockbuster 16 team just traded Dalton for Algier, and
You should have seen my show on my when I was did my J.K. Dobbins trashing rant, and the Josh Fuster went and got his J.K. Dobbins jersey, and I just continued. I would not be stopped by that.
Dalton and Algier for Tom Brady.
Now flip Tom Brady.
I'll take Tom Brady if you need him, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. This is so uneventful.
So weird. What would you be looking for in a rebuilding team to give up if you were giving up Mixon and Judy?
I just hang on to Judy. Mixon.
A first and a second will do it for me.
Yeah, that's fine. Judy, I don't see why you'd sell though.
Yeah.
Did have a good game this week, but since it was with Rippin, I feel like it's not going to count.
More bragging
people's
from
minds.
Henry. This is why he's a legend. Trade Hopkins for the 1, and then trade it for 23 first, winning.
I love it.
Greenspoint Gridiron, 10-team, 1 PPR. Would you trade Swift and Pickens for Josh Jacobs and Devonta Smith?
No, I would not.
Nope. Have a bunch of handcuff running backs on my bench. Madison, Gus.
Wait, so side note, would you prefer George Pickens to Deontay Johnson in Dynasty? Because I think it's George Pickens easily, and it's really not close.
I'm not there yet.
Oh, it's not close. I think in a week or 2, it's going to look silly. It's 5 years, and the player who's producing more now over the last couple games. With Pickens has been just as good or better. I think it's going to look very silly in a couple weeks to have Deontay Johnson ranked higher. It's a change. I think you should reevaluate those rankings and think about it a little more.
Gotcha.
It's just like seriously. I think people have been slow to adjust on that. I think George Pickens should be ranked higher than Deontay Johnson in Dynasty. I really don't think those two players are close in value.
We've never
Pickens
been this
worth
far
a lot
behind.
more.
Have a bunch of running back handcuffs on my bench. Is the second in a year worth more than each? I would
Yes.
trade.
They're all worth more than a
All
second.
those.
Yes, they're all worth, or all worth. The second is worth more than all of them.
Yes. If
Right,
you can
I'd
sell
trade all
any
of
of
them
them
for
for
a
any second, take it.
Mhm.
I agree with that.
I'd ask for a little bit more for Gus right now, just in case, just to see if I can get it. And Jamal. Ask for a little bit more.
Can't get it.
Probably can't get it, but still. 16 teams, start 11 offense, start 11 IDP, and not Superflex.
This might be the
This is
It
the
is.
super
That's
chat
Caleb,
that
yep.
we didn't. Yeah.
Yep. Is Allen Robinson droppable in a 10-team PPR league for a
In
defense?
redraft, yeah.
Yep.
He's been better recently, hasn't he?
Yeah, he caught a touchdown.
I'd rather have Wandell though.
Easily, I'd rather have Wando.
W Rob than A Rob.
Would you give Brees Hall in a 23 second to get DeAndre Swift in a late 23 first?
I'd
Yes.
rather have Swift.
Yes.
Let's see. CMC, Mixon. Those are different questions to me. CMC, I don't want it more than a first. I feel like Mixon, if I could get a mid first, like if I'm rebuilding, I wouldn't mind doing it.
I kind of want 2 first for CMC.
So do I.
Even if that means 23 and 24, at least you're getting that. I do agree that Mixon would be one random first. Mid. Yeah.
Is Ertz in a late 23 first enough for Kelsey? No Titans premium.
I think it
Okay.
should be,
It should be, yeah.
especially if they're rebuilding. I think they should be able to take that first and be pretty happy with it, and then you'll be happy with it because you have Travis Kelsey and you're contending.
I haven't been able to get a first for Kelsey in leagues, so
I haven't either.
12 teams, Superflex, start 10, trade Brees, Terrace Marshall. Haven't heard of that name in a while. And a late third, or Pittman, Mostert, and an early second. No, Brees side.
Brees side, I guess.
It's pretty close though.
Brees side.
You're not
yeah.
going to be happy with the points from Pittman this year. You might as well keep Brees.
Brees is worth more.
I don't think. I that's just my expectations of Bellinger, I guess. Let's see. Reese's Cups. Candy corn is goated. Yes. Thank you,
Gross.
Triple X Lex. Nico wafers are pretty terrible. I don't know.
Necco wafers.
Necco.
You
I
just
don't know what
Nico
I don't know what that is.
wafers.
It looks like Necco wafers to me.
Necco wafers.
Oh,
No, they
cow.
are horrible. In second grade, when I went to so I went to Catholic high school. So in second grade, we had to practice for our first communion of how to do the whole thing, and we practiced with Necco wafers. So that was fun.
Buy low running backs. We talked about this a pretty good
We
bit.
talked about that a
Hopefully-
ton, yeah.
Hopefully Pat was this is about the time he was asking the question. Hopefully we were answering that. Brady or Dak this week?
Dak.
Let's see.
Dak this week and every week.
Dak.
Agreed.
Something's wrong with Brady. I don't know.
He's old. Going through a midlife crisis.
Is Alvaro completely droppable in Dynasty?
Probably.
Yes.
Wait till after the trade deadline.
He's
just in
been
case.
inactive.
Just in case.
But yeah, sure.
Tyler out here with the same injury Bellinger has. Did you get punched
Glad
in the
it's
eye
not that
socket?
bad.
Yikes. You need surgery?
What
Orbital
a
fracture
freak
surgery?
accident that was for
I
Bellinger.
know. It's such a shame.
It is such a shame.
He was having such a good rookie year too. But he's probably out for the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm. Hayden the Rooster has Swift, Walker, Stevenson, Edwards. Problem I have Tua, Goff, Wilson, and Superflex. My team is close to competing, but QB is not helping. Do I sell one of my running backs for a better QB? In general, that's the answer is always going to be yes in Superflex.
Yeah,
to me.
pretty much.
So if you can get, I would try to combine and get. If you can take, could you get Goff and could you combine him with Stevenson and upgrade to a pretty good QB?
You can try.
That's what.
What's pretty good? Tua?
Goff is not worth as much as he was.
Well, we've got Tua.
Oh, reading.
Could you get Trevor Lawrence?
No.
People are kind of off of him right now.
Yeah, because he sucks.
Oh, he does.
We're back.
Did you get Derek Carr?
We're back.
We're not back.
Maybe Derek Carr.
Oh, wouldn't too bad.
CD, B-Rob, and Malik Willis, who they handed the ball off to this week, which was interesting.
That was so bizarre.
Got JT, Rondale Moore, and Trubisky. What are your thoughts?
I'd rather have the Lamb side.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What do you guys recommend when your opponents keep trade cut as the gospel for trade value, but you value a
My
player
favorite question.
differently?
Used it against them.
Use it
Also
against them,
use
yeah.
keep trade cut, and then find a stupid
Uh-huh.
keep trade cut ranking and use it against them.
And send them screenshots.
Oh, yeah.
The screenshots.
Bruh.
Non-super flex, I'm 6-1. I have Hall. I was offered a 23 first pick, somewhere in the 4 to 6, and a late second. Should I do it?
No, I'd rather have Hall.
Hall.
If it's 4 through 6, I want Hall.
Agreed. 12 teams, super flex PPR. Would you accept Gabe Davis, Brian Robinson, and a 23-202 for Kenneth Walker?
Nope.
Walker.
Christian Kirk or Wandale or Pickens?
Kirk.
Kirk over Wando.
Drop Wandale.
Yeah.
Let's see. He was flex worthy early. He was okay. It
He was
just
aight.
he was RB17. Like my point was just that if he's 5-2, it wasn't because like outside of the last 2 weeks, it wasn't because of Hall. That's all. Who does he play for? Josh Johnson. Man, he used to play for the Ravens and the Buccaneers.
I don't know who he's on now, though.
The Jets. I actually don't.
Is he? I don't
No,
think
there's
so.
no way. I feel like it's Seattle. I feel like I remember, but that might be totally
Oh,
wrong.
no.
Where is he?
Denver.
Denver. Somewhere out west.
He's 36.
Josh Johnson is somebody I wish he was a rookie in the league right now because I like Josh Johnson. I think he'd be a lot more valuable.
Do you want to name all the teams that he was on?
Do
Not
we have all
really.
day?
Tampa, San Francisco, Sacramento
I
in the
remember
UFL, Cleveland, Cincy, Niners again, Cincy again, Jets, Colts, Bills, Ravens, Giants, Texans, Raiders, San Diego Fleet in the AAF, Washington when they were still the Redskins, Detroit, the Wildcats in the XFL, Niners again, Jets again, Ravens again, now the Broncos.
How is that even possible? That's amazing. Gosh.
Isn't it?
Oh my goodness.
Nathan
How
Akers,
much
2
money has this guy made
QP,
over his career? I want to find
A lot.
10 team PPR. Give Brown and Pickens, get Diggs and Jamison Williams.
AJ Brown? AJ Brown.
He's made $8.5 million.
Less than I thought it would be.
Well, it's a bunch of vet mins.
How much is that per start?
Less than Chase Daniel, I can guarantee you that.
Let's see. Yeah, we did that one. That was Ricky. Yeah. What's up, Ricky? Okay, let's see. Wasn't bragging. I was the idiot that gave the farm for Russ. Gave Cousins a 24 first and 23 second. Oh my goodness. Don't do that. Let's see. In a dynasty startup, 1 QB, 6 first, almost all early picks, 5 seconds. QB, that's his team. The any moves questions are always tough for us,
Especially now.
Yeah, especially when we're this far
Yeah.
behind.
$250,000 per game played.
Nice game played. Okay,
Game played.
and I feel like a lot of those were San Francisco, where he was just getting on the field for random reasons. Wasn't always to start.
He has 9 total starts.
Wow.
Almost $1 million per start.
Okay.
Who would be a good tear down trade target for CD Lamb? Like Amonra? Yeah, that'd be great.
Amonra, Pittman. If you want to go a little lower, you might be able to get like Olave in a first,
Oh, that would be nice.
Wilson in a first, London in a first.
Do a drop Damian Harris for Kareem Hunt or Gus Edwards.
Has
Yeah.
to be redraft, and I drop him for either.
Both.
I agree.
What are we sending for ETN? I think he puts me over the top. 1 QB, Hertz, JT, JK, Gus, Waddle, Higgins, Debo, Adams, Andrews, 423 first.
One of your first.
Yeah.
The late one.
Probably can't get him for that, though.
Maybe not. JK
Dobbins.
first.
Yeah.
That would be great. Let's see. Would you drop, I assume, redraft AJ Dillon or Kyle Pitts to pick up Michael Carter? If I told you we were going to be discussing dropping Kyle Pitts for Michael Carter and it wasn't helpful,
You have better tight ends then maybe, but I would
would you
probably
rather AJ
not.
Dillon or Michael Carter?
AJ Dillon.
I think I want AJ Dillon still.
AJ Dillon has more upside if Aaron
Yeah.
Jones got hurt.
If Aaron Jones gets hurt, AJ Dillon is an RB1.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Whereas Michael Carter, we are in the situation where if his starter were to get hurt and we, well,
He might already
James
be.
Robinson threw a wrench into it, but he's a flex.
Right. And if based on what you said, convincing me that James Robinson might be hurt, Carter could get a lot of work this week.
Mid RB2.
Let's see. Caleb's excited. Patty
Listen.
Fryermuth. That's what it was. Kate Otten
Pressure.
or Dulcich this week?
Dulcich.
I like Dulcich.
I have Dulcich at tight end 8 this week.
Does that change if it's Russ or Rippon?
No difference. He produced similarly with both, so no change.
He had more targets with Rippon, I think. But
Doesn't matter to me.
I'm excited about Dulcich.
Otten did a little bit. That was encouraging.
Don't trust him. I'd rather play Dulcich. I have Auden at tight end 20, so no real interest in him.
What are we doing with Rashad White and James Cook? Holding. Singletary probably gone next year.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're holding on to both of them.
holding on to both. I do think if the
Prioritize
James Cook thing is not changed in favor of James Cook more this week, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, without injury.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, definitely more value than production on that young team with Caleb's 53-man roster. No waiver wires. Yeah, I assume. Let's see. All right, let's go down here. We're catching up. Do you just draft a wide receiver next year and then
You
I'm
draft for value, trade for need.
bingo. Package Najee and Carter for a 23 first.
Ooh.
Even that might even be expensive.
Let's see.
I think you're in a solid situation because, like I said, Caleb, like you have a lot of value for a 16-team roster. I think you have things to play with. So,
Yep. Let's see. Gosh, he's been rebuilding for 3 years. Oh yeah, you need that DLF subscription. Come on, make sure
Give
you
it to him for free.
Yep. Just looking to buying Sky Moore.
If you can buy him for third, I still would.
Look at that. Caleb says we're super helpul. Appreciate that,
Oh,
Caleb.
thank you.
I'll be talking about that for a long time, Caleb.
So will I.
I appreciate it. We'll be like, man, remember that one time Caleb showed up and then
Remember
Ricky,
that one time we got a $100 super chat?
poor Ricky is like, dude, I spent $50, like nothing for me. Come on. Yeah,
we're making an end credit scene.
No, we're gonna have a Hall of Fame.
Yep. Maybe I should
People
put
saving
something up
money.
behind
Yes.
me.
That's definitely a way to get
Yeah.
yourself
Oh, that's a great idea.
lots
Yeah.
of attention. Right. Ching. That was pretty popular in the chat. All right, Chris has a question. Rebuilding 12-team Superflex trade ETN for Godwin, or do you need more in return?
ETN's worth more than Godwin.
Need
Yes,
more.
he is. Probably a second.
Not enough.
Godwin in a second is not enough.
No, it isn't.
Man,
2 seconds
I'm all
is
I'm all
enough, I
for it
think.
though. ETN is here. We're
So
here.
am I.
Yep. Let's see. 10-team 1 QB is Edwards worth buying. Have an incoming offer for Juju.
Juju, as much as I dislike him, is worth a lot more than Edwards in Dynasty.
Yes.
How's the
Yes.
performance stinks?
I don't know if he stinks, but he's not a real Dynasty asset. Gus Edwards is more of a Dynasty asset than Deonta Foreman. I think Gus Edwards is more likely of the two, even though he's a year older, is more likely to produce something next year and for the rest of this year than Foreman.
In a 12-team Superflex, would you trade Watson to get David Carr, AJ Dillon,
David
and
Carr is retired.
Derek Carr? Gotta do that every week. Dillon and my 23 first and second back.
Oh,
I think I would.
yeah, I think I would do this.
Yep.
If you said you're a failed contender, so to me that sounds like you're probably 3 and 4 right now.
I
and you're
think I
struggling.
would. If you're gonna get your 23 first, it's gonna
Right.
be a high pick. I think I'd
Right.
take that side. This is not a monster accept, but I think I'll take it.
Yeah, because I think
Carr is
that
not worthless.
getting your first back allows you to play with your roster a lot more. Because if you can knock that from being the 104, the 105 down to the 102, 103, that that works. I would do it.
I agree. Yeah, because if you don't have your first, you don't even feel good about losing. Like you,
Right. Because you're like, what does this do for me?
right?
Nothing.
Ed resigns every year on Black Friday for DLF. No idea when my sub actually runs out, but they keep tacking a year on. And then there's a question about Ed's logo. Is that a football guy's logo?
I don't think so. Isn't that the Nirvana?
Yes. As a person who was basically a 90s person, I guess that really hurts me right there.
You want to
The
know
football
something
guy's
crazy,
logo
Cal?
is pretty close. though.
Nirvana is like Smells Like Teen Spirit was from 5 years before I was born.
Yeah, and I remember when it came out. So,
But Cal, since you're 33, you were
oh
What a
right,
youngling.
9 when
I
it
was still
came
just a
out.
baby. Yeah. Kyle lost Brees Hall, Hollywood, Trey Lance, and Joku. Yeah, that's not. You're rebuilding now, Kyle.
Damn. Oh, and also thanks to the chat and the people watching the show for getting us to 100.
Yeah, let's go.
Yes.
First time I think we've hit that in a couple weeks.
100, 2 100s today. And
That's right.
Let's go.
2 QB for
Where's
VR.
the second part?
Get
Here,
Herbert
it's
and
later. It's
Pittman.
later.
Give.
Just keep.
Yeah. DJ Moore,
Okay.
Zach Wilson, and 23 second.
I'll take Herbert.
Yeah, I want
Not
Herbert.
Khalil Herbert. It's Justin Herbert, I
Yeah.
assume.
So for me, Herbert is worth about Dak, DJ Moore, and a second all combined still.
And I'll take
And I'd
Pittman
rather
over
have
Zach
Pittman over Wilson. So
Yep.
Herbert side.
Yes, sir.
Dulcich or a 24 third.
That's
right.
so easily.
Brees in a 24 third for an early 23 first. How early?
How early?
That's the question.
Yeah,
how early?
Would you trade Brees for if it was the 102? Would you do that in a super flex?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you get your pick of one of the quarterbacks or Bijan.
Partially because I actually think that there's a chance that Bijan is there at 102.
Would you
If
do
I
it for the
get
one
this
of
kinda-
3?
No. If I get this kind of extra, I would do it.
Okay.
This is good extra.
So the 101 and the 102 is straight up for Brees. You would
Yeah.
not do the 103 though, because the 103, like I could see where it's the top tier is 3 deep, and it's both quarterbacks and Bijan.
We don't know that.
It's kind of like that. I know, but that's just kind of how I feel like it's going to start going.
Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes.
But the 102 should be good because you get either Bijan or either of those 2 quarterbacks because one of them should be the next man.
Yeah, if it's an
Yeah.
early first, and you get like a second and 24 and 25, I would be tempted to do this.
It depends on exactly the circumstances surrounding this first, but in a good number of circumstances, I would take the first. Let's see though.
In 3 weeks, is there a chance you buy Brees back for less?
Not from the same person, I think.
No, but I do think Brees could continue to decline in value.
Yeah.
Smiley face Kirk Cobain Drew. Yep, that's right. Me and Ed are about the same age.
We did
10
that.
team. Oh, we did this. Elijah Mitchell is trash now.
Trash, no, but
Listen here,
he's just
buddy.
a handcuff. He's just a handcuff like Warren, like Madison.
But he's more than them though.
Yeah, we were
He isn't-
rostering Foreman already, right? Like
You're
I think
holding on, Addison. You're holding on to the past.
No, I
That's the
don't
past.
think I am.
I think you are.
I don't think I am.
Sorry.
he's more than them. He's less than he was.
No, he isn't. He really. I mean, maybe a little bit more, but really,
He's in the
isn't.
Madison Pollard tier.
I wish he had gone back to Carolina.
Those two are not in the
trade.
same
Why
tier.
did they
though.
not do that? Why did they not?
He's in the
want
tier
him
with
back?
Madison, but not Pollard. Pollard is way higher. You can play Pollard. as a flex. You can flex Pollard this week. I have him at running back
guess
21. He's in the tier with Madison. That's what he is. He's a handcuff. He's nothing else.
Look, Ricky liked the quarter thing. Remember that was my idea, Ricky. Just remember that.
Spoiling the players in my video tomorrow.
J-Rob or a 23-second.
Second.
Probably the second. Yeah.
Or Ellinger can be Justin Fields.
Oh, no.
I don't think he can be Fields, but
Is that in a good or a bad way?
Wait, what? Say it again.
If him being Justin Fields, is this being taken as a good or a bad thing?
I assume he meant a good thing. I would say he's not going to be even that good.
Okay.
I think he could be Marcus Mariota, is what I'm expecting. Something
That's
like
a better
that.
comparison.
He's the QB.
And Marcus Mariota sucks.
He's the QB 11 in fantasy right now.
I don't care.
Oh,
Yikes.
He
well, I'm
is
just saying,
so
like,
bad.
well, I care in terms of if he's on the waiver wire. Picking
Yeah, but
him
in
up right now.
Dynasty, that's the kind of player you sell. Someone who's producing fantasy points, but who will lose their job is the kind of player you sell.
Could he be
Of
Daniel
course.
Jones?
He's not that good. Daniel Jones is a better passer than Ellinger will ever be.
Daniel Jones went 3 weeks without a touchdown pass.
And also, let's remember that
In a
Daniel
row.
Jones was picked in the
This
first
season,
round.
and they're 6-1. That's incredible.
There's a reason that Daniel Jones was picked in the first. I mean, look at Daniel Jones' receiving weapons. I kind of feel bad for him. They're all injured or not
one bit.
participating.
What do you have Dulcich in your tight end rankings, Tyler?
12.
Oh, he's probably a little lower for me. He's in the team.
Shouldn't be. He shouldn't be. Why should he be lower? He was picked in the 3rd round, and his first 2 games of his career, after coming off an injury, the first 2 games of his career was fantasy viable. Why would he be lower than 12?
I mean,
Because it's been
I
two
don't think
games.
he's significantly lower. I think.
No,
was gonna say,
if anything,
14.
I think 12 might be too low. I think I might have to reevaluate that because
gonna
players
count 'em
who
right
are
now.
picked, tight ends who are picked on day 2 and who produce immediately, day 1 production, those players don't fail. Those players almost always succeed. That's a profile. I mean, how long did it take Irv Smith to have a single game as good as Greg Dulcich's first 2 games? How long did Irv Smith take to do that? Many years? I think that this is someone who's going to skyrocket in value very, very quickly. This is someone I want on my dynasty team.
I counted 13 or 14 tight ends. Now I'm in this
I
weird
think
nebulous
in
tier.
3 weeks you're going to count 7.
7.
Yes.
Trey McBride or Dulcich?
I
Dulcich.
still have Trey McBride higher, but it doesn't feel right.
McBride was not one of the ones I was counting. Neither was Dawson Knox. If that
I have
helps.
Knox lower.
My fist, your face says, first off, thanks, Tyler, for all your help.
You're welcome. I think I know who this is.
I'm going to ignore that slight there, my fist, your face. Now with the bench
I'm
of
pretty
Kirk,
sure this is a patron.
DJ Moore, Singletary, Hindi, and Mostert. Who would you be willing to move? Because most of my players are done thereby, and I don't need all of them, I assume is what it says.
It's a redraft. Anybody, right?
Henderson.
Henderson,
For
yeah.
sure.
Henderson's the one I'm a little bit skeptical. A trade could come in.
And
Kareem
Mostert.
Hunt could come in now. Henderson would be the one I just don't believe is a staying asset. So I agree with Cal. It would be Henderson for me.
Mostert, too. Mostert has never stayed
Mostert,
healthy.
ironically, I have more confidence in Mostert retaining the role, but Mostert, is made of glass and 30 years old.
Yes.
But I said on Twitter, I'm here for the Raheem Mostert career revival at 30 years old. I'm here for it. I do like him a lot.
Do I spend 100 out of 100 fab on Ellinger in Superflex Dynasty?
Yes. I said yes. In my Patreon, I'll say yes here again. Yes.
Would you spend all of your fab if a 23-second became available?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. I'd rather have a
I
23
think-
second than Ellinger. So yeah, 23 second for sure.
So I think if you get Ellinger, you might could flip him for that. Is my
I
point.
think you can. He's really going to start the rest of the year, and that's what they said. So I don't know why I wouldn't believe them.
12-10 PPR, tight end premium, ETN, Swift, and Geno for Kyler Murray. Feels like a lot.
It feels like a lot. Yeah, I'll take the ETN and Swift. I think
I
we're past
wanna-
the point where
Divide
got to
those
be
pieces
super
up.
flex. I think we're past the point where Kyler's worth like a special amount of value.
Divide those pieces up.
Agreed.
Don't trade them all at the same time. Let's see. Give ETN, get 23 first, mid to late.
Not good enough.
Second, and Dobbs.
ETN.
Not good enough. ETN. Not good enough.
1 QB, Tyreek Hill or 23 first, late, and Burks.
Not enough. Tyreek Hill. I want more than that.
Especially if I'm contending.
Burks has been everything bad that I warned as was a possibility. I didn't say he would, but everything that I said was possible and why he was high risk, he's been everything bad that I said was in his risk profile. Everything bad. So Burks is a no-go for me.
Give Pickens, get 23 seconds, and Dylan.
Pickens.
It's a weird trade.
Pickens is going to be a star to me.
I think I do agree. I will take Pickens there.
Pickens looks like a star.
What are you doing with London and Pitts at this point? Try to trade for picks for his
Dynasty, there's nothing you can do. You just hold on to them.
They're going to end up with less pass attempts than anyone in NFL history going back to 1977.
Yeah, just hold them in Dynasty. What else? What are you going to do?
Pick one to add to a hero RB contender, Etienne, Amon-Ra, or Tyreek Hill. Not sure I understand the question.
Amon-Ra.
If you're looking for someone who's going to help you the most this year, it's Tyreek Hill.
Amon-Ra,
right? I mean, who's going to help you the most right now? It's Tyreek Hill for sure. Amon-Ra is worth the most in Dynasty.
And that's the one I want.
Send Brees Hill and Ken Walker for Jonathan Taylor and DeAndre Swift. Interesting trade.
Did we skip Costies? That one.
Yes. 23 first late and a 23 first mid to late for 23 101.
101.
101.
Take that 101.
And a 12 team super flex. Yep.
Bijan.
Hall and Walker for Taylor and Swift.
Taylor and Swift.
Yeah.
Just because Paul's not playing right now.
8 team super flex start 10 traded Deontay Bateman and 2 first for JJ and Mike Williams.
Nice.
Yeah.
Injury hurts a bit on Mike Williams, but I'll still take Jefferson.
8 team league. You got to have.
Yeah, you need the studs.
Mm-hmm. 1 QB Cooper for Burks and a 23 first late. Yes.
First.
This has got to be Cooper Kupp. It's not Amari Cooper.
If it's Amari Cooper, that's the first.
Yeah,
if
it's got to be Cooper Kupp.
Then I will take Cooper Kupp.
Same.
Cooper Kupp should return more value than that.
So we already said this. Yes, we want to do that. Louis G is number 1 on the waiver wire. Need running back depth. Gus Edwards is available. Startable over Monty Pollard or Algier. Yes.
He's startable. Pollard and
actually,
Algier
I will say I have him ranked below Monty and Pollard this week.
Monty for
I
sure.
know that Carolina ran on Tampa Bay a lot last week, but Tampa Bay's run defense is still good. Last week, I think, was a little bit of an aberration. I have Pollard against Chicago at home, ranked at 23, actually, the highest of those 3. And then Monty actually comes in next at 24 and Edwards at 25, back to back to back. But if the question is, would I spend the number 1 waiver wire claim on Gus Edwards? Yes, I would.
Over
he'll be playable until J.K. Dobbins comes back, which is multiple weeks away.
Drop Pacheco.
25 in a bad matchup. 25 in a bad matchup against Tampa Bay on the road. So where might he be in a better matchup?
Should you drop Pacheco for Gus Edwards in a standard league?
Oh,
Absolutely.
yes. In any redraft. Honestly, even in Dynasty, I might prefer Gus Edwards.
God has got Dalvin Cook good at football. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I will say of those older running backs, he is like Austin Eckler is still good, for example. Dalvin Cook I'm a little more on the fence. Like he looks a little bit in decline, but it's not like Alvin Kamara where I'm like full panic.
Yeah. He's still high RB2 in terms of average points.
I think Dalvin Cook is still great, not elite.
Yes.
I'm thinking that he's going to win me my league.
I do not think Dalvin Cook is capable of winning a league for you.
But he's a good piece. Dalvin Cook or Sanders and Higgins? It's Sanders and Higgins.
Sanders and Higgins. Even in redraft, I'll take Sanders and Higgins. Sanders has been good enough to get the wide receiver back.
Wandale or Dotson, and a 23 first for Kenneth Walker.
I think
Walker.
I'd have to do either one. Yeah, Walker. Assuming that's
late,
not
yeah.
an early first.
Yeah.
After Pickens' breakout game, is he a good start in PPR or
You're
wait?
sending him. I mean, you're sending him in on the road at Philadelphia.
No,
But
he's gonna
I
get
have him
slapped.
at I have him at wide receiver 29. So
He's
I'm
gonna
putting
get
him in
slapped.
anyway. That's
Sounds
a
like a lot
start
of pass
in.
attempts.
I'll have him at wide receiver 29, like I said. I have Deontay at 25. So I have him close just for this week. I have him close. So
Is that a hundo for a super chat? Yes. If you missed it,
Yes.
we had a $100 from Caleb and 50 from Ricky.
also,
Yep.
if somehow Chase Claypool is dealt before the trade deadline, George Pickens is going to be even more unobtainable than he already is.
It's true.
I'm hoping for it.
McCaffrey or Barkley in redraft, full PPR.
I will
Barkley.
say,
Barkley.
and just I don't want to spend too long on this. This is Barkley, but Chase Claypool has not looked bad. Deontay Johnson and George Pickens are better. Chase Claypool has not looked bad. Chase Claypool has actually looked okay. I think Chase Claypool is a wide receiver 2 in the NFL, and there might be teams interested, like certain teams in Green Bay or New York.
Green Bay's never going to do it.
New York. What about New York? Teams in New York, like the Giants, who have
I think
nobody.
the Giants would. As a Steelers fan, I'm actually hoping that we get Tony in like a 6th for Claypool.
To be fair, I mean, Chase Claypool, I feel like could offer a lot of what Kenny Golladay was supposed to deliver.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He'd certainly be an upgrade over Richie James
Or David Sills.
or Darius Slayton.
Yikes.
But this is Barkley.
CMC or Diggs in PPR.
Well, CMC still has the bye week remaining. I'm going to go with Diggs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Diggs as well.
Yeah, Diggs.
Because CMC still is a little unknown in San Fran. A little bit.
I'm confident. I mean, I ranked him at like what?
I'm
running back
very
4 this
confident,
week.
but what if?
But he does still have the bye week remaining, so for that reason,
There
I'll
is
go
that
with
too.
Diggs.
Please stay healthy, Christian McCaffrey. Like, if I can next year get Trey Lance at full health and Christian McCaffrey with Kyle Shanahan,
But
that's gonna
Jimmy
be
G
great.
is going to be the starter, right? That's what I heard. That's what I was
Jimmy
told.
G is showing us every week why
I
they
know.
traded that much.
He's just
for
okay, Jimmy
Trey
G.
Lance.
He's just okay.
12 teams Superflex traded Brees 23 first and Mac Jones for Kyler and Damian Pierce.
Oh,
I want Brees.
ouch.
Oh, Brees.
Brees, yeah.
Hey, driver, drive these. Yeah, that's good. Talladega Nights. Mike Evans or AJ Brown?
AJ Brown.
Brees or Olave?
Brees.
Well, in redraft, I assume that was a redraft. I'll still take AJ Brown. Brees or Olave long term? Brees.
Brees.
Why is Swift still valued that highly? Can't stay healthy. 2 seasons of RB2 production. Don't get it.
I kind of can sympathize with what you're saying here.
But the production when he is healthy.
Still just 23.
Keenan Allen couldn't stay healthy either.
Running back scares me more than a receiver.
Yeah, I get that, but
I do feel like Detroit is getting kind of like they feel like they're getting a little frustrated with him in this same way, based on some of the reports and things that I've seen.
Yeah, I do wonder, do I have DeAndre Swift too high in my dynasty rankings? Like, should I really have him higher than Kenneth Walker? Like, does that really make sense?
when you're splitting hairs at that point, but it's like, how else? Like,
I think
he
I've
has to
already
be
gotten
up there.
past the idea that DeAndre Swift should be like a top 5 overall dynasty asset in one QB.
Sure.
Like, he shouldn't be that high. But like,
He needs to
I
be
think-
a top 6 or 7 running
I
back.
think
though, in
this is
dynasty.
DeAndre Swift's last chance for me to maintain the value he has now. If he comes back and he's not good again, or if there's another injury, I think it's going to be time to drop him into more of a, the value range that Travis Etienne or not even Travis Etienne, but like Najee Harris is now.
Oh, nah.
I think it's very different than the Najee thing because Najee is playing but looks bad.
Yeah, but if he can't stay on the field,
Yeah.
he can't stay on the field. I mean, it comes a point where that becomes a problem.
It is, but there's always that hope that he could.
The problem
I feel
is
like you lose
that
hope when you see
the
it.
problem is that
doesn't look
DeAndre
good.
Swift has really never had more than like a 7-game stretch of being usable. And if we have a third full season where that's like the longest stretch we get, I just think we talked about this earlier. Valuing running backs that highly, you really want to spend like your second round startup pick in a super flex or your first round startup pick in a 1 QB on that asset? That just sounds no good.
I want to trade him. Yep.
I definitely think there's a difference between valuing him highly overall and valuing him highly among running backs.
I agree, but I think he's going to lose his perch in what the Kenneth Walker value tier is, and he'll be in the other tier with the running backs that are like, take him or leave him.
What can I get on top of Pickens for my Mike Evans?
Nothing.
Yeah,
Pickens is worth double Mike Evans.
I think you might have to give up Evans plus.
Yeah, Pickens is worth double Evans in Dynasty, so nothing. Did that one already. Higgins side. Ask it once.
Warren or Pierre Strong?
Warren. I mean, we've seen something from Warren. Pierre Strong can't get on the field. So, Warren.
Do we answer regular fantasy questions?
He's asking redraft. Yeah, we do.
Redraft. Yeah,
we do.
Definitely.
Did that. AJ Brown.
I got a minefield here. CMC or
Dude,
have Dante Foreman and Samuel, and I'm being offered Kirk and Akers. Should I deny this trade? Take it.
No, Samuel.
I'd rather Kirk and Akers.
I want Kirk.
That's got to be Curtis Samuel.
I assume
if it's Debo, then Debo. But
yeah, Curtis, I think it's got to be Curtis. So I'll take Kirk.
Like a sell cup. So asking price 23 first and
another one.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Let's see. Kyle wants to know what direction play for future win now. All right, should he tear this down? I want to know your record and your points for.
Yeah, this is
12 team 1 QB. Burrow, Henry, Etienne, Swift, Hall, Chase, Hollywood, Judy, Wilson, London, Dobbs, Njoku, Pitts.
Let's just keep building value. Evaluate. Yeah, it seems like a future team though with those firsts.
Keep building value.
Hall is also now injured. I'd get rid of Derrick Henry.
I think you can continue playing for the win now by not making any moves. I think your team is pretty.
Derrick Henry just doesn't belong here. If you look at the rest of the team, it all kind of makes sense, except Derrick Henry is there. Derrick Henry makes no sense with the rest of the players. So Derrick Henry should go and just.
What if he's 5-2?
How? Oh, I guess it's a deep team, even though
he had Hall.
Yeah,
he had
Hall and Chase.
But losing
Hall, Chase stack,
losing Hall and Hollywood, and Wilson and London suddenly not being usable. Losing Njoku is lost too. This team is suddenly not as good.
But I bet he's got a good record because
a lot of players have been lost. Yeah, I would try to move Henry. You can maybe still try to compete, but I'm not going all in on that team anymore with all those injuries and issues.
Caleb wants to buy a jersey with. You know what? Make it a Colts jersey.
I was gonna say I can buy a Shaq Leonard jersey.
We'll give you, we'll buy a Sam Ellinger jersey.
No, like with his name, Caleb Leonard. You just buy a Darius Leonard jersey and
put it up on that wall. Yeah.
My running backs are Brees, Javonte Dobbins, Mitchell, and Hunt. Just cry.
Sorry.
Just cry.
There's nothing you can do.
And you're a 49ers fan.
This is why investing heavily in running back is risky and not something I'm ever going to recommend again. If you luck into it, you luck into it. If you draft him in the rookie draft and you luck into it, fine. But I'm not going to recommend going RB heavy and running in startups anymore. I'm just going to say don't do it.
Salary cap league makes it a little bit more difficult for me to process here. Superflex.
This is like taking a plane and putting it. Even on my Patreon, I struggle to handle.
This is still easy. I want the Deshaun Watson side. You're getting JT, Watson, and Lamb, and they're all. They're all.
Yeah, it's definitely that side, but salary cap just goes right over my head.
Barkley, and Amari, or Debo.
It's a good time to plug the Commission Impossible podcast if you're interested in new league formats. Although they haven't had an episode in a long time.
Yeah,
I missed that show.
They're here to miss.
Got to get Ryan and Scout on that.
Redraft, I want Barkley. Dynasty, I want
Barkley in redraft. In Dynasty, I'll take the other side out. It's easy either way. In redraft, it's Barkley side. In Dynasty, it's the other side.
In the Superflex, Fields, DJ Moore, late 23 first, or Brees Hall, and a 23, 102.
Brees in the 102.
Brees is worth more than DJ Moore in the late first, and the 102
That
is
could
worth
be
a lot more than
Brees
Fields.
and Bijan.
Yeah, Brees easily.
Oh,
What do you sell Dulcich for? If the 24 third isn't enough,
I don't know why
A
we want to
24
sell
second.
Dulcich, but I want more than that.
it has like if I can get a second at any point, I probably do it just because I don't think he's a difference maker.
I'm not sure I agree. He
He's not
certainly
gonna
had
be
the profile
comfy.
to be one.
Swapped to 23 third for Mostert for bye week fill in.
nice.
Ooh, nice.
I'll
Good
take
job.
it.
Superflex Dynasty rebuild. Send Damian Pierce in a late 23
Your
second.
favorite
for
Addison.
Samir White and a late 23 first.
Fine, sure, yeah, good.
I'll take it. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
The
Damian
first
Pierce is
time,
Addison's
right?
favorite
First time?
player, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Higgins and Fields for Brees and Pitts.
Brees and
Superflex.
Bruce and Pitts, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Just got the number 1 overall pick spot for 2023. Thoughts on tanking for real now? I've put
Do
the
it.
best players.
I
in my
always say
lineup
do
every
it.
week.
I always say do it. I don't have a problem with it. I don't care. You do what you need to do.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
I don't care. I don't know why you wouldn't.
It's probably
If
a
it's
smart
not-
move.
If it's not in your rules, then do it.
Not in the rules, then go for it.
Sounds like he's good for some. Yeah, I agree.
I just don't understand. He's a rookie. Why the rush? Just selling.
Interesting. Ridley for a 24 second rounder or hold?
Calvin
Ridley.
Ridley?
I'll take. Or no, sorry, I'll take the second.
I'll take Ridley.
I'll
God,
take the second.
people hated me for saying to sell him for a second when he got suspended.
Yeah, because I
Now
think
this
that's
is
the
the
best
value.
you're still going to get from him when he comes back.
That's why I wanted to get rid of him because
So
I
just
and
take the
people, why
second
take a
and stay
second? Hold
liquid.
him.
I'll
Yeah.
take Ridley.
What could be ETN or a 23 first, very late, plus Dobbins.
ETN.
ETN. We actually said
Yeah, we said that trade.
Yeah.
Pitts are a mid 23 first, non-tight end premium, 1 QB.
Pitts still.
Yeah.
Pitts in a first for Kyler.
No, Kyler's
Kyler.
not worth. Kyler's not worth that.
Where's the
No.
first?
It doesn't matter.
Pitts
The
in a
late
first.
first. If
It's
it's the
for
late
me.
first, I'll take Kyler.
I don't want to. I'm not going to pay up for Kyler like this. That's it.
How much fab for Dulcich?
In a non-premium
redraft.
redraft, it's kind of like there are a lot of tight ends. He's just playing Jacksonville this week. That's why I have him at tight end 8 this week. And also, who's on bye?
Yeah, I dropped
Kelsey
like
and Everett are on
7%.
bye, who are usually would be above him. So, yeah, that's a good answer. 15 to 20% if you need a tight end.
How do you feel the Jags backfield after ETN? Hasty, Snoop Connor. What do you think?
I want Hasty.
I'd love to see Snoop Connor active.
I'd give Snoop Connor a shot. We know Hasty sucks. I
Right.
would go for Snoop Connor.
Agreed. Hey, I agree
Add 'em
with
both.
Tyler, and we disagree with Addison.
Yeah.
Add them both.
Hey guys, since the start of the season, I traded DJ for Pickens and Ridley for Wandale.
Nice.
Yes, DJ Moore. That was bold then, but it worked out.
Do you think this is okay? Yep.
Ridley for Wandale was a good move. I would have done that then too.
Who do you start? Pickens, Deontay, Gus, or Algier? Flex.
Deontay.
Yeah.
Full PPR is Deontay.
He's got like a Rondale Moore type profile right now. That needs to change.
Yeah, his 8 out's like 5.
Yeah.
Pitts or Bijan and Ayuk?
Bijan,
and-
dude.
Come on.
Let's see. I mean,
I think
Ellinger
this is the
can't get
likely
rushing
outcome
production.
that he gets rushing out production and he stinks.
Bingo. Trade Kyle Pitts for a first. Oh, and a first for Kyler and Amari.
Hey, this is better than Kyle Pitts in a first for.
I agree. I would take
just
this instead of just Kyler.
What's the exact format though?
And where's the first?
Where's the first? Is this
And-
tight end premium? Super flex? I feel like it has to be. I need some more details here. There's too many.
If it's
variables.
one QB, this is super.
It's one
easy.
QB, it's
Oh,
Pitts
well,
easily.
And I have a
Yeah.
feeling it is. That's
Well,
just
then
my
it's Pitts
gut. I don't know.
easily, Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure I said that. Redraft PPR league, give Fournette and AJ Brown, get CMC and DJ Moore.
I'm actually going to take
Redraft.
Fournette and AJ Brown.
I will as well. It's redraft. It's weird if it were It's weird that if it were Dynasty, I would want the CMC side more. Because Fournette's value really goes off a cliff.
I feel like I want CMC
I do
and
think
DJ Moore.
Fournette. AJ Brown to me is enough. That DJ Moore is just so worthless. I'll take my chances that Fournette can hold
He
it
was
together.
good this past week. Like no Robbie Anderson, no Christian McCaffrey. DJ Moore excelled.
Yeah. Well, if this is a chance to sell DJ Moore in redraft, I would do it. In Dynasty, I'm not selling.
Oh, he was 4-3, second most points in the league. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we talked about how he's like half his roster.
There were a lot of injuries, a lot of players gone that may Hall and Njoku just this last week gone. That may present an obstacle.
Curtis Samuel for Kirk and Akers,
easily.
and it was
Kirk's
somebody
worth
else.
more than Samuel on his own.
Yeah,
It was Samuel and somebody else. I don't remember who, but yes, I think we
Samuel's
assumed
starting
it
to
was
come
him.
back down to earth, and that's without Dotson.
Half PPR, 10 team, Ramondre Stevenson.
Ramondre's worth way more.
Yeah,
Ramondre.
Pitts is giving me nothing, so if I can get Barkley by adding a little, isn't that worth it? I can move Barkley later. Pitts is losing value every week. I don't know that, like, we're going to get to the offseason, and I just
Pitts
think
is going to be right back to being worth a lot.
Bingo.
Until they have a playoff first round pick, don't draft a quarterback, and then we're back in this boat again next year.
But there's going to be comments about how like great he looks, how much they're going to put him in the offense and utilize him, and his
just like they
value
did this year. Yeah,
through the roof. People are going to overreact. We know that. Let's see. 12-team full PPR, Superflex, tight end premium, start 10, trade Christian McCaffrey, Tyler Algier, Isaiah McKenzie, and a 23 fourth for Dotson, Garrett Wilson, and a mid 23 first and a mid 23 second.
I like it. I'll take the
Dotson,
Garrett
Garrett Wilson package very easily.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's not close.
Brees Judy and an early 23 second for Jefferson.
I'll say Jefferson.
Any reason to sell Pittman because of the QB change? Yes.
I don't think he can.
For what though?
I don't think he can. I think now he's worth more than his market value. Like I think I value him higher than what you can actually get in return. So no. If anything, Pittman's a buy to me now.
Right, unless you're easily able to pivot off of him.
What if you got Higgins?
Oh, okay, but I would have done that before.
I would have done that before too.
Higgins ADP is lower. So I just think there's.
I don't think that represents what you can actually do.
What about Garrett Wilson?
No.
I'd rather Pittman.
What if you get Garrett Wilson plus?
Plus what?
Olave.
I don't think
plus? Could you get Olave plus?
Plus what?
Plus what? And no, I don't think you can. I think Olave is worth more on the market. No, Pittman's a buy because of the QB change, not a sell.
What if Ellinger peppers him with targets?
No, it's not that. It's just that I think that the downgrade in perceived value and market value from the quarterback change is more than the real downgrade.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
I feel like people are overreacting to the quarterback.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing.
And saying that he's going to suck now. But like, what if he still gets like we thought CeeDee Lamb was going to suck with Cooper Rush, and he was doing the exact
better
same
with
thing.
Cooper Rush. I have Pittman for this week in the first game ranked at wide receiver 17, but that's not wide receiver 27. That's still wide receiver 17.
Deontay Johnson still has 67 targets this year. He's getting peppered with targets, but he's lost a lot of value.
He's also like 3 years older.
Yes, but the difference also is that Deontay Johnson has another receiver on his team who's more talented than he is.
Yes, that too.
And actually, I think significantly more talented than he is.
I think he's going to lose value. That's all.
Well, he doesn't have a receiver like that on his team. Alec Pierce is not that.
Chris has a tanking Superflex team with no depth, but some studs. Trade them for multiple pieces. I have Chance. That's probably Chase, Burrow, Ramondre Stevenson, who are possible sells. I'm not trading Chase.
Stevenson is the sell.
Mm-hmm.
There. You can get a first for him. 23 first. I would take it.
Did we answer this one? The Godwin?
I'll take Godwin.
Me too.
Yes. DJ Moore, Mostert, Singletary, Christian Kirk.
I feel like we answered this with selling Henderson.
Yep.
Same person. Yeah. Had sell Henderson before they trade for another running back. They were in on Christian McCaffrey, and we know it. They tried to trade for Christian McCaffrey, so that should tell you that they do not want Darrell Henderson to be their guy.
10-team, half-point PPR, random draft spot, 23 first rounder.
So it's still not super flex, so then it's Pitts easily.
I thought it was. I was thinking it was.
Pitts easily then. Pitts is worth more than Murray and Cooper combined.
One QB league, Hurts and Deshaun. I'm tempted to sell Hurts and run with Deshaun. What are your thoughts?
I would
I'd
hold
rather
on
sell.
to Hurts.
I'd rather sell Deshaun.
I agree with Addison.
Maybe not right now, but when he comes back.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. This you can't just leave for 10 minutes without telling us. You gotta let us know.
Yeah, and we do need to have a better way to like point people to segments in the put. I don't know. Is that like a thing we can do? Timestamps, is that like possible?
If someone wants to
No.
volunteer to go through it and email it to Addison, yes.
Oh, Addison, you just volunteered.
No, I did not.
Oh.
I would rather.
If anyone
run
in the
a
chat
mile.
would like to volunteer to watch the entire show and send a list of timestamps to Addison, then he can do that, right?
I would rather run a
Read-
mile for every like we get every single.
But if
week.
someone did the
Read DLF
timestamps for you,
subscription
could
if
you
you
put them
do.
in the chat?
Huh?
If somebody does it for me, I would copy
Would
and
you
paste
put
them
it
into
up?
that.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, I
so
would.
then
I
that's
would
what
hit
I'm saying. If
Control C,
someone,
Control V, and I would.
if
do
someone in the chat is volunteering to do it for us, then it could happen.
While you're at it, just clip the answers to the questions. I'd rather you could do that, and then you can see the clips whenever you go in.
If you did it for like, how long would they have to do it to get a lifetime? DLF
Caleb
subscription?
will pay for your your wages for that.
What moves would you do knowing that? Okay, need one stud running back.
I don't know how to.
Are you
answer
trading
this.
any picks for a stud running back?
This is a shoulder shrug for me.
It's difficult. There are certain situations where I would trade a late 23 first.
You know, it's
for
just to remind the
Jacobs.
people. Just remind the people in the chat. Very vague questions are difficult to answer.
If you need
Very
a stud,
specific questions are usually better.
if you're a stud running back away from competing, you might not actually be competing.
That's also true. And then here I would take. Oh, that's interesting. I'll take Pittman and Godwin.
Ooh. Yeah, because Devonta Smith's really bringing down Kenneth Walker down there.
Yeah,
I
Pittman
think
and
I would
Godwin.
take Pittman and Godwin too.
Oh, Devonta Smith and Ken Walker on this very easily for me.
I could be swayed.
Nick Forrest would
can't.
trade help. I give Mahomes, Pittman, and George Pickens. I have Hurts at QB for Raheem,
Oh,
Mostert, D Hop, and Devonta Smith. He also asked me to add Kelsey, and he
I'm
would
very
add
confused. Format would help.
This has to be one QB, I'm assuming, because he's
Is
saying that he
it-
has
I
Hurts.
feel like this is a redraft.
Oh,
This feels like a redraft question.
I want Mahomes, Pittman, and Pickens.
So do I. It's redraft. The other side is somewhat appealing. Even so, not really. It's one QB.
Yeah, he said it's one
Yeah,
QB.
QB.
All right, yeah, I'll take that. The Mahomes side.
Non-sided premium. I have Komet, Higbee, Hurst, Irv Smith. I was thinking of trying to trade a mid 23 second to get one of these guys for Dallas Goddard.
With Hurst, I would do it. With Komet and
I'd
Higbee,
do it
I guess
for-
it's fine.
I would add any of them to your second and go get
Yeah,
Goddard.
honestly, I probably would. Too.
Just any of them.
I think
Just
I would.
say you choose. I want to give you a second and one of these four guys, whichever one you want. Give me Dallas Goddard.
Sure.
I don't
would
know if it's
give
enough, but I would try.
3 of 4 and a 23 mid second for
Sure.
You choose your favorite 3, and that's what I would do. Swift for Walker and Pittman.
Walker and Pittman.
What?
Walker and Pittman.
and
That's a
Pittman?
good example of what to do with Swift right now, I think.
There you go.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see. Would you trade in a 10-team superflex? Javonte Williams? No. Maybe
Jamal Williams?
Jameson.
Jameson Williams.
Maybe. I don't know.
Uh-oh. Clinton. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Clinton. What Jay?
Javonte? Yeah, we don't know.
For Kittle and Danny Dimes.
Um,
it's-
I mean, I kind of feel like no matter who it is, I'd prefer.
Kittle.
Kittle and Dimes, yeah. Oh, not if it's Javonte. I don't want to do that.
Sure.
Javonte. It is
I don't
Javonte.
want to do that. I don't want to do that. You get Kittle and I can't do it.
Yeah.
Oh, we're just getting peppered with targets here right at the end. We caught
I
up and we're
know.
just getting peppered. Hurts, Connor, Pollard, Edwards,
Oh,
Diggs,
this
Pittman, Kelsey,
Too
and
complicated.
help at running back. Nick,
Too complicated.
listen to all of the whole show, and you'll have a lot of running back answers.
Or watch my video tomorrow.
Ooh, there you go. Last question before I head out. Okay. Trade for Andrews.
Sure. I'd love trading for the tight end too.
I don't know. Redraft. You're a patron. Just ask me this in the chat.
There you go. Let's see. Love
Recognize
garbage
those
time.
players.
That's what this is. Would you trade Hall and Dulcich for Pickens and an early second and third? No.
No. No,
Hall
no, no.
easily.
We
Guess
did it.
what, guys? Goodbye.